Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. Let's see if this works. Okay. Oh, infinite regress. 1 second. See if I can fix this real quick. We got a little bit of infinite regress going on here. I had this set just right yesterday. Now it's not quite right. What is this? That's YouTube. That's TikTok. So why do I have two things here? That's, oh, I moved the wrong thing. Dang it. Yep. All right, let's see if I can fix this real quick. Move it on the side. Let's see if I can fix it. Oh, this is so weird looking. All right. Maybe I'll ungroup this so I can mess with it. Okay, well, YouTube looks good. Okay. Welcome in, everybody. Yeah, it's not an audio regress, but see? That tells you right there, infinite regress is possible. So there you go. Now, let's see if I can fix this real quick. Oh, wait, that's not the one I want to move. Yo. Okay. So that is in its right spot. This is the one I want to move. Ha, there it is. Okay. We'll move that to the side for now. TikTok guest avatars, we will move here. Video Ninja guest avatar, we will move over here. So TikTok guest avatars, I'll just keep to the side. All right, YouTube chat's looking weird. Oh, that's so weird. So maybe I'll just ungroup these for right now. There we go. Okay, so I can try and fix this. There you are. That's what I'm looking for. There. All right. Found it. So now we'll just put this way over to the side because this is only for YouTube. Put that there. All right. I think I'm getting the hang of this. All right. TikTok guest avatars. We will put you right here. Yep. And then Video Ninja. Yeah, we'll put you right there. Okay. I think we're good. Welcome in, everybody. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday. I know I am. I think I've fixed my sound issues. At least I hope I have. So, hope everyone's doing well. After weeks of ripping my hair out with what little I have left and an evening yesterday of setting this up. I think we got our sound issues fixed. So no more rage quitting. Let's hope. So I did rage quit yesterday. That was pretty mad. So we have a new URL for YouTube guests because for some reason Bitly just decided to stop working. So don't know why. No idea why, but it is what it is. And thank you, Jason Debatement, Ace, Ethereal, Bryden, Ragizi, Reckless, Jason Debatement. Thank you for the heart me's. Appreciate you. Appreciate it. So I see that there's some shares that have gone out already. That's fantastic. Let's get the likes up. Let's get more shares out. And if you are a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran, I'd like to talk to you. So you just have to be 18. Like I said, you have to be a believer in the God of the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran. The king of IT, I don't think so. Because if I was like the king of IT, I would have just gotten this like bam, you know? I had to fight through this stupid thing. But I appreciate that. You're very kind. God of the Bible, Torah, the Quran, and please have evidence that God is real. So, yep, the tinyurl.com TBV guest link is active for YTube guests. And it looks like we do have a guest in the queue right now for TikTok. So let's bring them on. Let's just see. So far, the sound looks like it's working okay. So let's give it a shot here. Looks like we have Josephine. How's it going, Josephine?
Good. How are you?
Oh, doing well. Doing well. Just for TikTok purposes, you're at least 18, yeah?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. All right. Which God do you believe in?
I believe in the one in the Bible.
Bible God. Okay. And what's your best evidence that this God is real?
To put it simply, I would say that I was an atheist for 20 years, and it turned out that atheism is just too simple. And if there was no God, then, or if the universe, I guess, had no meaning, then we shouldn't have found out it had no meaning.
Okay. So you're saying that because we haven't found out the meaning of the universe, that there's a God?
No, I'm saying we, how do I put this? Like, we have the intelligence to wonder and to explore the meaning of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if there was really nothing, then we should have never wanted to discover something bigger.
Well,
I'm kind of hearing myself, like when I'm speaking, I hear myself come back on the other end. Do you know why that might be happening?
Yeah, there's a bit of an echo because of the it's kind of the setup I have, and also it's like the noise, the echo cancellation on the TikTok side has to catch up. It usually clears up within like a little bit of time. Deactivating and reactivating your headphones or something or switching to something else, like if you're on speaker, it might make the problem worse. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, we were testing it last night and it does go away. It does go away eventually. Like TikTok just needs a little time to catch up. So hopefully it will.
Okay, no worries.
All right. Oh, Tiny Science. Thanks for the raid. Hey, one person raid is still a raid, so it counts. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. And thanks for the heart me and go popular. Appreciate it. All right.
Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you an atheist?
Well, I was a Christian for over 30 years and I read the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah, I read the Bible. And there are way too many scientific inaccuracies, contradictions, and just straight up things that are false in the Bible to accept it as true. And then if you take the concept of God itself, like the triumny God that Abrahamic God, Abrahamic religions put forth, it just ultimately doesn't make sense. It's ultimately incoherent. And another Crystal J raid. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. You guys are amazing. Appreciate it. So yeah, I mean, there's just so many things wrong with it. I mean, it just got to a point where after reading the Bible over a dozen times, it just, when you're just at a point where it just doesn't make sense, you just can't believe it.
Yeah, and that makes sense. And I guess my other question would be, can you admit that there's no scientific proof that God doesn't exist?
Yeah, but that's not what science is for. Science isn't built to
Right.
prove whether or not God exists. But see, that's the thing. If there's no scientific proof that God doesn't exist, how does that make God exist?
No, I'm not saying that reasoning makes him exist. I just think that a lot of the time what I hear from atheists is scientifically God doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
And so I would say that scientifically, I don't think that really proves anything.
No, it doesn't. And we're not trying to prove anything.
Yeah.
We're really responding to believers, because the first question we usually get is, well, then why is this all here? Well, nobody knows that, but that doesn't mean a God exists, just because nobody can explain why this is all here. But you would agree, though, that if there are things that don't make sense, it's probably a good chance that it doesn't make sense and it's not true, right?
Yeah, sure. I can see it. But also what might make sense to me, even just down to a basic level, I'm terrible at math. And so somebody that's really, really good at it, it'll make more sense to them. It doesn't make math not true.
Yeah, I agree with that. But on a basic level, I mean, we're talking about existence, right? We're talking about a being that exists, whether or not this being exists. Like, it's pretty simple for me to demonstrate my mom exists, right? We got birth certificates, my birth certificate, her birth certificate. I can produce DNA. I can, take a picture of us together. I can get her on the phone. You can talk to her. I mean, there's just all these kinds of ways I can demonstrate that my mom is alive and exists and is real.
Totally.
And it's obvious I have a mother, because how else would I be here, right? And so the thing is that we can't do any of that for God. None of that. And so then this puts God in the same category as Bigfoot, as the Easter Bunny, as leprechauns, as fairies, because fairies, in the Wiccan religion, Wiccans believe in fairies. They cite their fairy book. They cite fairy rings, ring of mushrooms in the forest. And some say they've sworn they've seen them. Does that make it true?
Well, I don't know. I've never seen one.
Exactly.
It's not something
Right.
Yeah, it's not something I've looked into. Honestly, I hope that'd be awesome if they were real.
I like the idea of fairies. I'm with you.
I like the idea too. Yeah, and I think God in the Bible specifically can be tricky, and I can understand that. And I wasn't allowed to look into religion at all growing up. My parents were very firm atheists. My dad was harmed by the church, so it was more of a hatred than just, okay, we're atheists and you can explore. They didn't even let me speak about it.
Wow.
And I can totally understand the pain and the association that comes with when someone says I'm Christian or follow a Christian church. Yeah. And I think there's a big separation there should be separation in church and state, and churches should be taxes and should be taxed. And so I can understand that portion, but I think God as a whole, I think it makes so much sense for there to be a creator of the universe because of the intricate design of it and and just that kind of concept of, like, you'll hear a lot of people say 2 + 2 always equals 4 before we had a definition for it, that kind of thing. And I just think the design of the universe points to a higher creator, but I'm the last person that would ever say, you're wrong for being an atheist. You're wrong for believing in your God. And maybe I differentiate a little bit with a lot of Christians on that. But I think the evidence of just how everything works points to a creator of that.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. Yeah, because see, my wife is agnostic, right? And so she kind of says the same thing. What keeps her on the fence is like, it just seems like everything works and how does everything work the way it does? And so then I think about that. And then if we're taking the Christian God, right? This Christian God is supposed to be perfect. And it doesn't make a lot of sense that a perfect God would make things so imperfectly. For example, we live on a planet that has 70% of it is covered with water, right? We as beings, as animals, and all the animals on this earth, all land animals, can't go more than 3 days without water. There's some exceptions like camels, but for the most part, like we definitely can't go more than 3 days without water. And there's, for the most part, neither can a lot of animals, with some exceptions. Of the 70% that is water, 99% of it is not drinkable, right? It's all salt water. And again, there's some exceptions, like camels, again, can drink salt water, which I just found out like yesterday, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, I just found that out yesterday, right? And so, and then this kind of adds to my point that I'm about to get to. And then out of that 1% that is drinkable, like rivers and lakes and streams and, rainwater, about 99% of that is undrinkable because it either is contaminated, it has bacteria, or it's just dirty, right? And so we can't drink any of that. And so that leaves about, 1/100th of 1% of all the water in the world that all the land animals, with, again, a few exceptions, can drink. And that doesn't make a lot of sense because if we can't go more than 3 days without water, why would a God put us on a planet in which 99.99% of the water is not drinkable?
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I totally see what you're saying. My question to you would just be with evolution, and the idea that we came from a common ancestor of an ape, right? And there was all these like Homo sapiens and Homo australopithecus afarensis, and it just kept going on. They were able to, even before they had the evolution of creating an intelligent mind, they were able to survive, and plenty of animals are able to survive with the situation of the water we have in the world.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. If you had a pet, right? Would you just give it just enough so that it would barely survive? Or would you give it like plenty for it to ensure that it thrives? Yeah. And so it seems like, because we have evidence of like multiple extinction, near extinction events on our planet, right? We've, dinosaurs being like a notable one. But we've had multiple of those. And so it just seems odd to me that a being that would create this universe, that would create this earth and then team it with all this life, then have parameters in which things are almost destroyed. That doesn't make a lot of sense, because that's just like, I was a systems engineer for 25 years, systems architect, systems design. And it was counterintuitive to build something and then turn around and have it almost destroyed, You build things to last. You build things that are efficient, that work, that people want to use or that are useful. And there's just doesn't seem to be a lot of usefulness in having a planet that is trying to kill its inhabitants. Because, we've got volcanoes, we've got earthquakes, we've got hurricanes, we got lightning, we got all these things, right? And then there's also the problem of suffering. Would you say that all suffering is necessary?
No.
Okay. So what then is the moral principle that, and then the next question is, do you think God can prevent all suffering if God wanted to?
No, I don't know. I think technically, he
he's
could.
all powerful, right?
Yeah,
all knowing,
right.
all powerful, all loving. Okay,
right.
So this is what it's like. The analogy here is like if you have a swimming pool, right, and you have a net for the swimming pool, and you see a little furry creature in there that's in the pool that's like struggling to get out. Would you just stand there with a net and watch it suffer?
No.
Yeah, you would fish it out, right? Because you have the ability to do that. Well, that's what it's
Yes.
like with God. Like there are animals in the forest where lightning strikes in the forest, and these animals
Yeah.
are stuck in the forest and they suffer and they burn to death. And that doesn't make any sense. Why would a God allow that?
Yeah. And I just want to say, I love watching a lot of atheist Christian debates.
Mhm.
And a lot of the time, I haven't found something where I'm like, okay, that really stumps me. But I did with like a week or maybe like a month ago, a couple weeks ago. And the atheist had said, say I wrap my head around your idea of why they're suffering, but it doesn't explain the suffering of animals in the animal kingdom.
That's right.
And I think that's a great point. And I'm not the type of person or Christian, I guess. I don't really like calling myself that. I'm okay with being like, I'm not sure. And
That's fair.
and I'm okay
That's
with
a
the
good- that's a good answer.
concept of God making mistakes. I'm open to that concept. But I think God as a whole just makes sense as far as why we have morality and why everything is such a good design and our purpose. And I do think people have purpose, and I do think people have morality, and I think that comes from, whether you want to call it a gut instinct or God, I think it comes from somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And I think
agree.
we can all kind of agree on energy and bad energy. And if you're to watch like the Exorcist horror movie, it makes you feel a little dark. And that energy, I think as a consensus we can come to. And I think the debate is, where's that energy coming from? And is that energy a designer?
Got it. So
that's what I would kind of say.
Okay. Well, I agree that as far as morality goes, because this kind of ties into the previous point, but as far as morality goes, I agree that that it does come from somewhere. I just think that morality just comes from humans, and that we can demonstrate. We have evidence that demonstrates that morality is born of evolution. So I think that's where it comes from. I also think that there are objective morals, because like you said, we can kind of come to it. We can come to a consensus on things. Now, objectivity and consensus aren't the same thing, because objective is mind independent, right? Like your previous 2 + 2 = 4 example, that's objectively true, right? It's going to be true no matter what. And we also, and I think that unaliving a being for no reason also is objectively wrong. It's objectively immoral, right? Kind of going back to watching the little creature in the swimming pool die, or drown.
Absolutely.
We wouldn't do that, right? Yeah, like normal people wouldn't do that. Only like psychopaths would do that, right? And
totally,
and so and it's objectively moral to do the right thing, to fish that animal out of the pool so it doesn't suffer and drown. And so the question I was going to ask you was, because God is essentially, if this God has the capability of preventing suffering, this God is the equivalent of the person standing at the side of the pool watching that animal drown, the capability to do it and doing nothing about it. So what moral principle justifies this God allowing preventable suffering like that when they have the power to stop it?
Yeah, I think most Christians' response would be that sin was brought into the world, and that makes the world imperfect. But I don't like bringing up beliefs that I have when talking to an atheist, because it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't mean anything to you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really beneficial. So I would say the answer to your question, besides of, I think sin was brought into the world, which causes a lot of the bad happening. Besides that, I would say I don't know. And I think, like what you were saying about morality being objective, we have people that are missing in their brain, the whatever isn't firing to where they don't have empathy, right? We have these crazy cases of psychopaths and serial killers, right? But it still is objective that animal shouldn't be suffering in the pool.
Totally agree.
And if someone watching it has that fluke in their brain where they don't feel anything, I'm not sure why that happens. And I think it's really fascinating. And all in all, I guess to your point of why wouldn't God just stop the bad? I do think a lot of bad that happens is really important. And I think we learn a lot as a society from these bad things happening. Things that catastrophes that have happened, we learn and we grow. So I think it's important for bad things to happen. While also recognizing that a baby or a child getting diagnosed with a bone cancer is absolutely asinine and awful. And I don't know why it happens.
Yeah.
So
I hear that. And that's a fair response to that. I think, I don't know is a fair response, because I got to tell you, I can't tell you how many times Christians will come up here, or just theists will come up here and try to justify all this. And the bottom line is there is no justification for it, and honestly, free will doesn't explain animal suffering, because,
absolutely.
Doesn't explain it, because the other part of it is that even if it did, like if we're just saying, oh, it's a fallen world, that's one I hear a lot too. It's a fallen world. Yeah. Well, if it's a fallen world, that means then it's okay to allow innocents to suffer for somebody else's crime as a punishment, right? So if there's a consequence that we screwed up the world, right? Let's just say that's true. We screwed up the world. Adam and Eve ate of the fruit. We screwed up the world. The world is all messed up. Okay. Well, that means that this God is okay with animals suffering along with that they're just in for the ride. And, and we would never do that. We would never, as humans, we would never, do a blanket punishment like that, or a blanket consequence like that. We wouldn't do that. If we had the control, we would insulate, innocence from these type of consequences. And that didn't happen. And, especially if God has the power to prevent animals from suffering the same fate as humans do, right? Let humans die in earthquakes and all that stuff. Okay, that's fine if that's what you want to do because Adam and Eve ate of the fruit. I mean, we can tackle that separately in a minute, but okay, if that's the consequence, animals didn't do anything for that. So they don't need to.
No, and I think that was my
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was my point, and that was an argument I heard where it really got me thinking. And I have no shame, as I'm not somebody that's going to be like, I know everything about the Bible and I know everything and I have all the answers, because I don't. And I think that is a big portion also of believing in a God, is you don't have the answers, and so you have something to lean on and something to have hope for and feel purpose in. But I'm a big animal advocate, and so it strikes a big chord with me. And I think at the end of the day, humans wrote the Bible, 40 of them.
Yep.
And I don't think and this could be I could be different than a lot of Christians in this. I don't think it's an impossibility that they got some portions wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that the core belief I think Jesus was real. I think what he did was real. I believe God is real, and there is divine intervention that every human experiences. I think every single human since the beginning of time has wondered if there's something bigger because of evidence of divine intervention in some sense. So I would say about the animals, I really don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a fair answer. And, but honestly, I mean, like I said, I've read the Bible over a dozen times. It doesn't explain anything about why animals suffer. It has no explanation.
No.
Yeah. None. It's interesting because I just did 2 videos earlier on that are on my profile about Jesus. It's actually interesting you bring that up. Because the other problem that I have is that the Gospels are very problematic in that we don't have any evidence overall. We have no evidence overall that Jesus rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. And those are the 2 key things about being a Christian, right? You have to believe those things. And we have no evidence of that, right? And so, and the evidence that a lot of people put forth is, well, there's witnesses. Well, see, there's another problem with that, Josephine. There are 30,000 witnesses to Nero's resurrection, the Emperor Nero. there was a claim. And it was such a powerful claim that 30,000 people decided to rally behind this resurrected Nero to try to overthrow the Roman government. It failed, and a lot of people died. And so, but they all claimed that Nero, geez, I keep saying Nero rose from the dead. They all claimed that, and they were all witnesses to that. So if you're going to take that these 500 witnesses saw Jesus, then now you have to say, okay, well then I guess Nero actually rose from the dead too, because there were witnesses to that, and they actually believed it.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point. I think the difference is that it's not the only thing. Like, you're believing in what they preach is that you're believing in Jesus as the Messiah, Jesus crucified, and Jesus was resurrected. All those three portions are like the big core parts. So my question would be, I don't know who Nero is, and I'll look into it for sure, but are they claiming that he also was God or anything, or just that he was resurrected?
That he was resurrected. Yeah. That he resurrected from the dead.
I guess that would be the difference there. But I can see what you're saying for sure. And I think it's kind of like, we know, not because we've seen him or there's pictures or videos or anything like that, that George Washington existed because of writings and witnesses, right? So I think witnesses are important to pay attention to. And I think if there was witnesses of this Nero's coming back, that's something I'd have to look into, because I don't know who that is, but
well,
but it would be
okay. Go ahead.
It wouldn't be my role to be like, they were wrong, because I don't know. I wasn't around at that time.
Right. Well, see, this is the thing though. Because you believe that Jesus rose from the dead and that there are witnesses to that, right? And so we have the same level of evidence for Nero. And I know you said you don't know who he is, but I'm just saying then you would have to accept that Nero rose from the dead, because it has the same level of evidence. I don't know. I'd have to look into it. But if there was the same level of evidence, then I have no reason to deny that it happened. Right. And so then that kind of builds a quandary. Then that puts you kind of in a quandary, because we've had other figures in history who have been claimed to have been risen from the dead with witnesses, right? And so then you have to say, well, if we have witnesses of them rising from the dead, I guess they all rose from the dead too. And you see where this kind of gets you. This kind of gets you into a pickle, right? And then you have to think about, well, there's a claim in the Quran that Muhammad rode a winged horse to heaven. And, and there were apparently witnesses to that. So did that actually happen?
Yeah. I think you could say the same for even like today. Besides back then, like there's witnesses of ghosts and supernatural and things. And I think it's important not to dismiss those people. But I also think the numbers of people
we shouldn't dismiss them automatically.
And what? Sorry.
Oh, I just said, you're right. We shouldn't dismiss them automatically, but we should verify it, right? We should check and make sure. We shouldn't just automatically believe them too, right? So I'd say it's somewhere in the middle, right? We have to that's what my name is, trust but verify. I tell people all the time, I believe that you had the experience that you had. I believe you saw what you saw, but we just got to make sure it was actually what you saw, and how do we verify that? Because it could easily be, because there could be a lot of reasons for these sightings, as you say, these supernatural sightings. Because the other thing that we have evidence for is that for like religious experiences, as far as how the brain reacts to religious experiences, it is identical to like a schizophrenic episode or a delusion, you see? And so they can't tell the difference, right? So how do you think we could tell the difference? Like, what tests could we run to make sure that this religious experience actually wasn't a delusion?
That's interesting. I think, I don't know how we would measure that, because obviously there'd have to be some like it would have to be actually happening while they're hooked up to MRI or scans or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, and if this totally goes away from your point, just tell me. But something that I find is kind of evidential is people's near death or people's death experiences when they come back. And regardless of their beliefs, and I'm not saying that all of those are pointing to my God. And again, I am not the type of person to say you're wrong in your belief or not. But they all, if you look at thousands and thousands of stories of people dying, it's very similar as to they rose up out of their body and there was a light and they felt peace, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And some people relate that to Jesus or God, and some people relate it to whatever, right? And so I think with your idea of it looks like a psychosis, I think if you're trying to correlate that to if someone's having a spiritual experience and it's not happening and it's a hallucination, I don't really know a response to that, because I would say, I think it would have so many factors to it. Do they have mental health issues? Do they have previous psychosis episodes?
Right.
But if they've lived a pretty healthy life and none of this, and they have this experience, I don't see why someone would just go, well, that's psychosis, you know?
Oh, yeah. I'm not suggesting that we just automatically chalk it up as psychosis. It's just that, how do we tell the difference? And then just kind of to your point, we're running out of time here until the vote, but real quick to address near NDEs. So 2 things about that. There is a study that just came out it's almost a year old, came out last March, that they found a strong correlation of NDEs to a high amount of carbon dioxide in the body, in the brain. So, and then another interesting thing that they found was that was a correlation, is that they were able to pinpoint the area of the brain where these NDEs happen, where they occur, like parts of the brain light up. The folks who had traumatic brain injuries to that specific region of the brain did not experience an NDE. And so, which is pretty interesting, because you'd think it wouldn't matter, like what state your body is in, you would just have an NDE regardless, because if it's, related to your spirit or whatever, and you're going to a different place, like ethereally, then shouldn't matter what state your body's in. Your body could be totally mangled, right? And then you'd still have this NDE. And so 100% of the people who had traumatic brain injury to that specific region did not have an NDE. And then the third thing about that is NDEs seem to be associated with your beliefs or like your culture. So like Christians have Christian NDEs, Hindus have Hindu NDEs, Muslims have Muslim NDEs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's not across the board 100%, but it is very strongly linked to that as well. And so, so if there's just, so there just can't be, it's either there's multiple gods or multiple places, or it's all in the brain.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point. And I need to look into that study. It sounds really fascinating.
Yeah. It's in the March 2025 edition of Nature. You can find it.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely look into that. And I know people say they will, but I actually will. And I think, I'll close off on, I think that I had hallucination experiences because I had undiagnosed bipolar, and I'm a D1 track athlete, and I had to take the season off because I was admitted into a hospital. And I never had really any big mental health disorders before, but I was having these hallucinations that obviously weren't happening, like someone banging on my door when I can open the door and no one's there, right? And I can know firsthand how real these hallucinations seem. I mean, it's crazy. The voices and things like that. It's really crazy how your brain can trick you. And I'll say it put me in sleep paralysis multiple times and things like that. And sleep paralysis, I totally believe is evil. You get an evil feeling. It's a nightmare, you get this evil presence feeling.
Yeah.
And when I would pray and and this isn't the really reason I believe in God, but when I would pray, or you could even pull it to meditation, it went away and I had peace. And obviously this is something that I can't prove, but I think there's no shame in somebody believing that God is real.
No.
or not.
I wouldn't go so far as to say it's shameful to believe in a God. I wouldn't go so far as to say that. No,
absolutely. And I do think regardless, beginning of time, we've been having a feeling or an instinct there's something bigger than us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's more likely that there is something bigger. And the big conversation is it the God in the Bible or the Quran or who is it? Or what is it? It could just be an overarching energy. And so, but I appreciate this conversation, and I think you brought up really good points, and I really appreciate it. And I'm going to look at that study.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you letting me come on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Josephine, thanks for coming up. It was a very pleasant conversation. I really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, enjoy the rest of your day.
You as well.
All
Bye.
right, take care. All right. So that was a good conversation. And, gave some food for thought and all that stuff. Although, I think there is, I don't think the echo cancellation cleared it up like it did yesterday. Hey, redheaded trouble. So we have serious trouble here. We have serious trouble. Okay, so I have 3 waiting in the queue, but you know what? I can run a bit of a test here because we thought we had fixed it yesterday, but let's see if it's more than just echo cancellation issues on the TikTok side. How you doing?
Oh, I am echoing.
You are echoing badly?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep, I hear that. I hear that bad echo. Okay. Do you think you can get through your announcement?
Let me see.
Okay. And this will give me time to troubleshoot this real quick.
Okay. Sure, I can try. If I just turn myself totally off, like if I turn my volume down and I just talk, I can get through it.
Okay.
So if you say anything, I just won't hear you.
All right.
And I'm just going to keep on going.
Keep on going.
Steamroll.
Yep, just steamroll me. Exactly. There you
go. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Trust But Verifies Live. We are so happy to have you. There's 147 people in here. Really happy to see everyone today on this Thursday. Really quickly, just because I was just asked about it, and we've had a lot of people doing it in here recently. No preaching or unconsensual prayer in here. No being rude in general, but we've had a lot of preaching and a lot of prayer that is not requested for. So please watch that, and no caps in the chat. But otherwise, thank you again for being here, everyone. We have 12.5k likes. We're really slow on the taps today. Please tap the screen so we can get more conversations in here. Let's get up to 25k really quickly, and then we can work toward 50k. I would really appreciate all of that. We are already at 135 shares, which is phenomenal. Let's get up to, we just need 15 more shares to get up to 150. We could even get up to 200 today if everybody just shares it out to 5 people that they know. So yes, you can do that. We have different ways that you can engage with the discussion or with the live itself. YTube, you can send super chats to say what you want to say if you have a comment to make that you want Trust to read out. We also have live goals like kick goals. The poll goal, the kick poll goal is the let them cook, 25 let them cooks. If we fill that up, then a poll will start on whether we want to keep the guest or not. And then jellyfish, if you just want to get rid of the guest immediately. So you can do that on YTube with a 5 super chat and a 10 super chat, respectively. Let's see. Memberships on every platform, YTube and Twit. So make sure you're following him, Trust But Verify 2024 on all of those. And then we have, I don't have my script in front of me, but we can't hear me in the chat.
Okay.
Hello.
You should be on now.
Okay. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me? Okay. My pronouns are they, them, y'all, just so you know in the chat. I'm non-binary, so if y'all can refer to me as they, them, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And if anybody crashes out, well, that is too bad. We've already been through that, and we can go through it again if we need to. Just talk to people about it. But anywho, let's see what might not have been heard when I was not heard. We have the goals, the kick pull, we have the jellyfish memberships on each app. We have the Discord, and the link is in Trust Bio. So make sure that you go and copy the link into your browser and then join there from there. If you have any issues, just let one of us mods know and we'll be happy to help. And like I said before, no caps, no spamming in chat, no preaching, no unconsented prayer, all of that good stuff. And make sure that you are sharing and reposting the live. Reposting helps us a lot as well. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. We lost a lot of people, but we're also having audio issues. So I come up here to try and help with the announcements, but then I noticed that sometimes our views go down. I'm like, wait, no, that's the opposite that I want to do.
Right. But hey, it's okay.
I want to get the information out to the people.
Exactly.
And I am still definitely
Echoing. Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. Okay. Can you stay up with me for a sec?
Yeah, for sure.
For a bit. Okay. Let's try to do something here. Okay. And it's just crazy because we had worked this out yesterday and it was working fine, and then there was some echo, but then the echo cancellation kicked in and then it went away. And I was thinking, okay, I think that's all it is. It just needs to kind of catch up because this is all software based, but doesn't look like it's doing that. Okay. So I'm going to try one thing real quick here. Okay. So we're going to try this, and you probably stop getting heard for a minute here. Okay, so this is TikTok guest.
John Jacob Jingleheimer.
You're still echoing, aren't you?
That's my name too. Yep.
His name
I'm singing it around.
Yeah, video guest. Okay, so video guest. We have to turn. Okay, I have them both off. So, yeah.
That actually would sound really good with row your boat.
It would, wouldn't it? Or
row
yeah.
Row your boat gently down the stream.
Exactly. Okay. Let's see. Now TikTok mic is B1 video. Okay. Let's see. Let me turn this on just temporarily. Yeah, see, that's funny when I turn that off. Okay. You know what? What if we did this? Okay. Say something now.
Something. No, still echoing.
You're still echoing. All right, that didn't work. Thought I had it. Okay. How about that? Try that.
Testing. No.
Did you stop echoing?
No, I'm still echoing.
You were still echoing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, lock this layout. Make mic 1 is B1 plus B2. Desktop, B1 plus B2. Interesting. Oh, hold on. B1 plus
Thanks
B2.
for your patience, everyone.
Thanks for your patience. B1 only.
Technology sucks.
Technology sucks, but no, I can't hear you, so that doesn't make sense. Video guest B1 only. All right. Test that. All right.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. I am still echoing.
Still echoing. Okay. 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 So it's all these like little switches that I have to like, and it's like a combination of 3 switches, and then there's 3 feeds. So whatever anyone who's good in math, that's like all the possible combinations. And so I just gotta keep switching things on and off. A1 on TikTok, guess you can, yep. Okay, because I'm feeding everybody into the same thing that you can hear my mic with, right? So we're all coming into the same feed. But the thing is that it's going back to, for some reason, it's going back to the TikTok guest. And the TikTok live studio is not suppressing it right now. So TikTok mic is B2.
I just need to think of movie quotes. We watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days the other day.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Wow, I haven't heard that one. That's the one with who was that? Matthew McConaughey and then Kate Hudson. Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I had that movie memorized in high school.
Okay. All right.
And when we watched it, I had a lot more memorized than I thought I would.
Than you would care to admit, or?
Yeah, basically the whole thing still.
The whole thing, right on. Oh my.
23 years later.
Okay. 23 years later.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, time flies, doesn't it? Okay.
Oh.
So on desktop is on. TikTok guest is on off. I have that there.
Godless Engineer wants to know if you're using voice meter.
I am using voice meter.
He might be able to help.
Okay. Well, let's see let's bring him up. Oh boy, this is going to be like an echo. It's going to be echo hell with like 2 of you talking. But
yeah, I'll stay muted.
Okay. I think he might have declined my invite. Yeah, okay. He's declining my invite. So maybe not now.
Okay. Maybe he can. Oh,
he's driving. Okay, sorry about that. All right. He's driving. Okay, yeah, I'm using voice meter and yeah, I thought we had this fixed last night. I mean, we tested it. We worked on this thing for like an hour and a half. So okay, but you are still echoing, just to confirm. Yeah?
Testing, yes.
Okay, I can hear that. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see.
Godless Engineer said that he'll be available in 20 minutes.
It's 20. I hope I have it fixed by then, but if not, I will take you
right.
up. Yeah. I don't want people waiting around for 20 minutes, but if that's what it takes, then that's what we're going to do. So, because the only other choice I have, because then I'd have to like rip everything out and then move like things around, and that just breaks things even more, as I found out yesterday. So, okay, so it's like TikTok Studio is returning audio back to you as the guest. So, okay, so I'm looking at this architecture here. Okay, so Yep. There's that. Let me try this. Can you say something now? Okay, now you're totally mute. So I can't hear you. Oh, wait. You think we're good? You think we fixed it? Pronouns are they, them. I love that. Yes. Their pronouns are they, them. Exactly. Okay. I think we might have done it. Yeah? Nope. Now they can't hear you. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So they can't hear you now. All right. So we have to keep, B2 active. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I know you all can hear me. Yeah. It's like Bryden can hear me. Yeah, but Bryden's right next to you, right? Okay, so with this setup, so the guest can now hear me, and there's no echo, but then TikTok chat can't hear you. And then I bet YouTube chat, can you hear the guest? Oh, bother. Yeah, I got to get a hold of Justin too. Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm using Justin's instructions, but I'm doing it with Voicemeeter, and he uses a different mixer. And so I kind of had to like work with it. Okay, YouTube don't hear the desk either. So it's just basically we're on our own social island now. Right? So, okay, that's not going to work either. Okay. Yeah, exactly. We do need some little island music. Okay, was that B2 that Oh, it was this one. Okay, so now the echo should come back. If you say something.
Hello.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes back. Now everybody can hear you. But see, everybody can singularly listen to you. Okay. So if we disable B2 on the TikTok guest strip, it stops the echo, but no audience can hear you.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. It's just like then nobody can hear you except me. Man, that's even more amazing that last guest got through that entire conversation listening to her the whole time.
Right. I would not be able to.
Yeah, she powered through it. That's wild. Because that's what I was trying to, because I was hoping that the echo cancellation would kick in, but it doesn't. It doesn't do that. Okay. So I wonder
really quickly, chat. Thank you so much for your patience.
Yes, thank you for
those
your
of
patience.
you who have stayed. We're just trying to figure this out. Nate, we know that there's not an echo on the chat end, but there is on my end.
Yeah, and it's really annoying for the
end,
guest.
too.
Yeah, it's really bad for the guest if there's a echo on your end. But I think the only solution you have right now, if I don't find it, is to mute your sound, right? But then you can't hear me talk. So that means you'd have to like turn
Exactly.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, because see, the thing is when I had that on, because I muted that, because what I had to do was like I had to, because it was doing it last night, and I had to mute the audio on the TikTok side, and when I did that, it seemed to make the problem go away, but apparently not. Okay, video mic B2, OBS B1. Yep. Okay.
Aaron, don't tempt me.
Oh boy, no temptations. Okay. So TikTok for some reason is listening to B2. Because see, I have it routed 2 ways so that Video Ninja can hear you. And see, it's, yeah. TikTok mic is set to voice meter output. Yeah, that sounds true. Yep. And then audio slider is muted completely. Yep. Oh. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. I think I've hit the limitation on this mixer. I think that's what it is. I have officially hit the limitation.
You might have to get
Yeah.
the one that Justin has.
Yeah, I think I might have to. Which is weird because this one actually has more buses than the one Justin has. That's actually the weird part.
Maybe that's part of the problem.
Yeah, it's essentially because it says that there's enough buses for this, but buses for this, but it apparently isn't because I need 3. And because for TikTok, video, and me. And so I need 3 separate ones, and that's how I have it routed. But for some reason, it's still like it still doesn't like that I'm doing it this way. So, okay, so we've got one last thing. Yeah. Yep. It's to output, not aux. And there's still an echo, right?
Test. Yes.
Yep. Okay. So I think what I might have to do then is I got to disable Video Ninja. We'll have to disable. We'll just take guests on TikTok today. And
sorry, YouTube.
Yeah, sorry, YouTube. You're back to the upper deck. Sorry. Nothing personal.
Come to TikTok.
Yeah, come to TikTok. Or the other choice is to send everybody over to video to YouTube. That's the other choice, is to send everybody to the link. But I think I'm just going to turn it off for now. Okay, so.
Can you guys hear us?
They should be able to hear you, yeah.
As Godless just said, okay. Got it.
Okay, so I think that's what I'm going to do for now. I'm just going to close video down completely. We'll just shut it down. And
sorry if y'all just heard a weird sound. That was my tummy.
Eating good in the neighborhood. All right. So yeah, we'll just turn all of that stuff off. And we'll try this another day. I think I'll run another test. I'll do another test live later. And
yeah, just let me know because I can help with that.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, because like I had like my wife was helping me, and then there were people in the chat helping and all this other stuff. I had like 5-7 viewers on each side trying to help me out with this. And then they just came in, because I was just going to do this on multiple devices. And okay. All right. So we'll continue using B1 for the TikTok mic. And we'll keep TikTok auto muted. We will keep OBS on B1. Yep. And okay. So A1 off. Nope. B1 on, B2 off. Okay. So we'll turn off B2. We will A1 on, B2 off. Okay. So then we can just turn off B2 entirely. Okay. And then this one is completely off. All right. All right, Ember, you want to give it a shot now?
Testing. No. Oh,
You're
no.
still echoing? Okay. So I just got to get there. Okay, so let's look at this side. Okay, so the meter moves on that end. Okay. And using my other problem might be using Reddit to try to troubleshoot this.
Well, yeah, possibly.
You know, Reddit can be pretty good sometimes. Just may not be so good here.
Yes, sometimes. Raven!
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hi, Raven.
Yeah. Okay. You're wearing headphones, right?
I am not, actually. Do you want me to put them on?
Yeah, try putting them on.
Okay. Because it doesn't normally when I'm not
Yeah.
wearing them. So
Yeah.
let me see.
However, I want to see if we can still do it with or without headphones because
Well, I think it would still be echoing for me.
Yeah.
Even with earbuds.
Yeah, because this thing is saying if you're using a speakerphone, then it'll go back. But see, then the echo suppression should kick in. The echo cancellation should kick in. And I think what I'm doing is I'm bypassing the echo cancellation on TikTok. Like I just somehow did that. I don't know why.
Faith, we are trying to troubleshoot audio problems right now.
On, off. Yeah. B1.
Thank you, Raven.
On, off. Yeah. Nothing else. And then cable devices. Nope, it's not. Yep, it is. So let me check that. Playback is voice meter input. Yes. Okay. Okay. You might go dark. So give me just a second. Turn off B1. All right. Ember, can you say something? Okay. Is the echo gone? Okay. But I bet you chat can't hear you. So, okay. Say something else and then I'll ask chat. Just say like, I don't know, count to 10. Okay. Can you hear them count to 10? Nope. Okay. So they can't hear you, but we got rid of the echo. Problem solved. No, kidding. Okay. So you do hear yourself. Yes, that's good. Okay. So and I think after this, yeah, I think I'm just going to go strictly by Justin's instructions. Yeah, I think I'm just going to do that. But for now, I just want to fix it so that TikTok guests don't echo. And then we're just going to limp with that today and finish this damn live. And then I'll tear it apart tonight. Okay, so we got to move you over. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. We got to move you over to B2. So on, off. So on, and then on, off. All right. All right, Ember, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I see your levels, but I can't hear you. So give me 1 second.
I can hear me.
Let me see. Chat, can you hear Ember?
Da, da, da.
Okay. So you can hear him. I can't. That's a step forward in the right direction. What about you, YouTube? Can you hear Ember talking on the YouTube side?
Chat, who wants to hear my Murloc impression?
I just want to get verification before I move on to the next step. Because then all I have to do is just make sure that I can hear you.
If you don't know
YouTube
who the
chat?
Murlocs are,
Can
they're
you hear Ember
from
talking? Yes, plus no
World of
echo.
Warcraft.
Fantastic. Okay. All right. I think we're in the home stretch. We're almost done here. Okay. So
Thank you for indulging me, chat, even though Trust can't hear me. I hope you guys enjoy that.
all right, let me try one thing. All right. Can you say something, Ember? Hmm.
I was
Okay.
muted.
How about now? Can you say something now?
I
Okay.
can hear
So,
myself.
weird. I unmuted the audio in TikTok Studio. It muted the guest, so nobody could hear them. And then that's wild. Okay. Boy, I
That
really
makes sense.
messed this up. Okay. Yeah, we just got to route it to the headphones. Okay. That's all I need to do. All right, let's try this. All right, so can you say something now, Ember? I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you. Is there an echo?
I can hear myself.
All right.
Yes.
And how about chat? Can you hear both of us, chat?
But I have an echo for myself.
You now have an echo?
Still. Yeah.
God damn it. All right. I'm not rage quitting today. I will not rage quit today.
No, we are not going to rage quit.
We are not going to rage quit today.
We are not rage quitting.
Not rage quitting, even though I really want to right now, but I will not rage quit.
We're going to push through.
We're going to push through. I already rage quit yesterday. I'm allowing myself one rage quit this week. And so we're going to push through. So everybody, chats on both ends, thank you for your patience. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. And I probably lost viewers, but that's okay. Understandable. But we just got to, yeah.
Real ones.
Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. And it's totally understandable. I'm not going to even like disparage those people. Because who wants to sit around and watch a guy troubleshoot shit? Not a whole lot of people. So, okay. So we turned on A1 and now you're echoing, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. On, off. Yeah. On, off. Yeah, that's what I have.
Oh, Leah, you didn't miss anything. We're just troubleshooting.
Yeah, we're just troubleshooting. Okay. Okay. But I can hear you. So, okay, but then you're echoing. So,
Did you turn off you?
yeah, I did. I turned off Video Ninja entirely. So only making it so the only thing we're sending to YouTube is just audio. That's it. So there's no return path. It's only one way. So they're basically just hearing what we all can hear. So they're just listening in, basically. Okay. So it's somehow capturing system audio. So on desktop, turn off A1, but then I think that will mute you from me. Yeah, it is turned off. Okay, so off. Desktop is off, on. I have that. On, off. Yep. And then on. Yeah, I have all of that.
Okay, just BRB. I need to use this, Alice.
Say again?
I said BRB. I need to use the whiz power.
That didn't work. Okay. Try VIO A. So we're doing VIO off, A1 off. Okay, we tried that one. We tried this one. Off, on, off, on. Okay. And then yeah. All right. Did you say something, Ember? The hell did I just do? I see you talking.
Yeah, I'm talking now.
Oh, there. Okay. Still an echo?
Say again. Yes, there is.
Okay. Thanks, Bryden.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So there is an echo.
Truck is lowered, by the way, y'all.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I am here.
You were here? You were there? Okay. Let me try that. Say something?
Hello.
Still an echo?
Oh.
Still an echo. All right. So turn on A1, which it is. And they can still hear echo. Okay. I'm going to mute my own mic, but when I do, because you're not going to hear me, I'm just going to give you I'll give you this signal to start talking, or actually just keep talking now. I'm going to mute my mic and then we'll see if the echo goes away. All right.
Okay.
So go ahead and start talking.
Blah, 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 blah. No, it's still going.
Okay. So it's not mic bleed. Okay. So it's not mic bleed. So I'm just going over these list of things here.
Desktop mic.
Yeah, it's this mic
I know
here.
somebody asked about that yesterday.
Yeah. So I just muted it. So oh, there's other people requesting. Oh, there's GE. Hold on. Let me bring up multi-guest here. There we go. There's the window. All right. Okay. GE, how you doing?
Hey,
How's it going, friend?
Going pretty good. Wow, that's
It's going to probably be worse with multiple people up. Yeah.
okay. Let me get my TikTok studio.
Okay.
So, which version of Voice Meter
I
do you
am
have?
using. Let me go to the about. Okay.
I can drop some.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate you, Ember. All right. So I'm using not the Pro, just the free version, 2.1.22.
Is it Banana?
Banana, yeah.
Okay. So let me.
And I think I might be able to share this. Is there a way I can share this? So you can see it. I don't know if I can or not. But if I can share this window, then you can see what my setting is. Okay.
Well, so let's go with your TikTok studio.
Okay, you want to go into my TikTok studio? Okay, what do you want to know?
What is your microphone set as?
My mic is set to voice meter out B1.
Okay. Yep. What's your input?
My input
Or the audio.
For my headphones is just my regular headphones.
There's your problem.
There's the problem. Okay. What should I set it to?
Well, sorry, I'm going to try to speak to this.
Yeah, sorry.
I have voice meter input, VB audio, voice meter VAI for audio there. And then on voice meter Banana for A1, I have that outputting to my headset.
Yes, I have that. Yeah, for A1, it's going to my headset. Yeah.
Okay. So keep that. You don't want the audio for TikTok Studio to be the same as the output on Banana.
Gotcha. Okay, so for the audio source, yeah, what should I set it to?
The on TikTok Studio?
Yeah.
It should be voice meter input.
Voice meter input. Let me find that. That should be in 1, right? Number 1. Oh, just voice meter input. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay.
So it's still echoing.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just at the start of this.
Okay.
So on your panel for the virtual inputs, go to the voice meter input thing and have A1 and B2 selected.
Okay, A1 and B2 selected for which one? For input 1?
Voice meter input.
Sorry, you cut out. Say it again.
Voice meter input.
Voice meter input.
Is there a virtual inputs?
Yeah, I renamed them. Is it? I guess maybe do it like this. Start from the far left and say like maybe first on the left, second from the left, third from the left, because there's the 3 inputs, right? And then there's the 2
virtuals.
Yeah, the 2 virtuals, and then all the A stuff in the master section, like the cassette player.
Right.
Yeah.
So the voice meter input should be the first column in the virtual input section.
On the left, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then which ones should I light up? Because right now I have B1 and B2 lit up.
Okay. Do A1.
Okay.
And B2.
B2. Oops.
Yeah. So I don't know if you can hear me. Okay. You can? Okay. No, nobody can hear you just yet. All right. So now, I forgot to bring up my Video Ninja. Well, here, I'll get Video Ninja here in a second. All right. So all that's going to there. Have your microphones on the input 1, right? Sorry, you got to go Yeah, nod your head. All right. On the microphone, do B1 and B2.
Okay. So I
There
have,
you go. Now we got you.
okay. Now so on the host mic, I have A1, B1, and B2 all lit up.
Don't do A1.
All right. No, I
Just do B1, B2.
okay. So I had it.
Okay. And then you crap. Okay. So on your virtual, hold on, maybe I can show you. I'm turning on my camera just
Oh,
that
here.
you can see my settings.
I'm gonna blow you up here. Expand. Okay, there we go. All right. So
Okay,
yes.
so if you see right there, we've got
Yeah.
the input and then the B1, B2,
Mm-hmm.
and then voice meter input is
and
A1,
B2. Okay.
B2.
A1, B2, and then can you here? Oh, actually, here, hold it still. Okay, so stereo input 3, you just have A1. And that is so on stereo input 3. I have that set to TikTok guest.
Okay,
So that's,
don't do that.
don't do that. Okay,
No, take it off completely.
take it up, remove it. Okay, so just
Yep.
disable it. Okay, we'll disable it. Okay, because I had it to cable output for VV audio, so
Okay.
remove selection. Okay, now it's gone. No, I can't hear you. All right, so let me do this. Let me re-enable it for a second, and then I can so I can just hear you, and then you can tell. Okay, now it's back on. I should be able to hear you now.
Okay.
All right.
And I can hear myself.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, you're fine. So for let's see, so the voice meter input, I'm trying to figure this out. because I don't have anything set for stereo input for me.
Yeah, I see that. And then
What's your desktop set for?
my desktop?
Yeah.
Oh, like the sound? Okay.
Yeah.
So the default playback for playback is the voice meter input. And then the recording, the default is the microphone.
Okay. Yeah, my input's that too.
Okay. So you have that.
So my output device is the voice meter input.
Yeah. That's what I have it set to.
Okay. Let's start back over at TikTok Studio.
Okay.
So you've got over here, you've got voice meter out.
Voice meter
B1?
out. Okay, let me double check that real quick. Yep, I have voice meter out, B1. Uh-huh.
Okay. And so that should run into this B1 channel,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that should output to the microphone there.
Should output to the microphone. Okay, so you've got A1 and B2 on the voice meter input.
Oh, you changed. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, you have A1 and B2. Yeah, and then you have A1 and B1. So you have B1 and B2. Okay, and then the other stereo outputs aren't being used, but then you have A1 and B2. So somehow I got to get the stereo input cleared like yours, but then I got to somehow reroute TikTok guests somewhere. And I think my routing's not quite right.
Well, so my TikTok videos have always come over like the desktop audio. And so like the audio should be outputting to that voice meter input right there. It should be playing over that.
Okay.
And then that's, sorry, I'm not holding this right. Voice meter input. So from TikTok Studio, it should run into voice meter input, and that'll output to this A1, which is your headset,
Mm-hmm.
and then B2 as well.
Yeah. Okay. So I have a double somewhere, and I bet you. Wait, can you say something real quick?
Hello.
Okay. So here's the deal. All right. So I have, let me check, because in my OBS, that actually might be the problem. I have in OBS, I have one in my audio mixer in OBS. I have one thing, and that's mic / aux. And that device is the voice meter out B1. And so that means I'm going out to B1. And then, so like, for example, when you talk, it goes out all through B1. Everything goes out through B1. That's how it's set up right now. I don't have a separate channel.
Right. So, yeah, as you can tell, on my OBS, I have the main mic, and it's just set to my microphone.
I wonder if I can. Let me see if I change that just to the mic. See what happens. Okay. So now it's just set to my mic. Yeah, I know it's not going to fix that part. Yeah, but I'm just matching to what you had. That's all I'm doing. I only have one source, which is the mic aux, and then can you move it a little bit closer so I can see him? There we go. Okay, so you've got desktop audio. Okay, that's muted. OBS sounds is muted. Video sources is muted. So is the Focusrite your mic? Okay, so you have basically the same thing I do. I just don't have any other sources. I just only have one source, which is my mic, but basically it's the same setup because all your stuff is muted. So yes, that's what's happening. Yeah, so we just got to split that off somehow. And I'm not quite sure how to do that at this point. Oh, here, let me look. Yes, I see that. Is it B2? Yeah, that's okay. That's what I had it set to. And so then nobody, or it was not echoing for the audience. It was just because the only problem is it's just echoing for you when you talk, right? That's the only. So yeah. So the double feed is your voice, your sound. And right now I've completely shut off Video Ninja. It's completely shut off. Yeah, same. Mm. Is it possible if I set my on playback, if I set my speakers back to, or yeah, to set the playback, say it again? Oh, okay. you fixed your stuff. Okay, cool. All right. Mm-hmm. Let me on yes, on microphone I have B1 and B2. Yes. A1 and B2. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Voice meter out B1. Yes. Yeah. Off and on. Oh, yeah. Let me try it. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, exactly. If all else fails, reboot. Okay, so I'm totally dead, which is understandable. Okay. Now I'm back. Now, still an echo? Still there. Okay, so I think what it is, you know what it probably is this stereo input 3. It's this TikTok guest. That must be because you don't have it there and I have it here, right? But if I turn it off, then it's cable output. It's the VB audio virtual. And I think the reason why is if I go to my mixer, okay. Because of the co-host for creators end, if you go to advanced settings on TikTok Studio, you scroll all the way to the bottom to advanced settings, the speaker for co-hosting creators was set to cable input for VB audio. And because I was fixing, because they weren't hearing, they couldn't hear the Video Ninja guests. And so that's how I fixed that. But now that Video Ninja's not here anymore, I don't really need that. Yeah, I don't know if that matters, but I'm just telling you my reason why. Yeah, that one. Ooh, change to voice meter input. Here, let me try that. Maybe that might actually do it. Voice meter input. Where are you? Voice meter input. There. Okay. All right. That was it. It's gone. I think that was it. Okay. Oh, okay. Chat on both sides. Chat, can you hear the guest? Can you hear Godless? Big caps. It worked. Okay, I think that's all it was. We can hear. Oh, okay. We're gonna try this. All right. Let's do this. I'm game. If you're actually an engineer, you're a man after my own heart. I was an engineer for a long time. So I love software engineer. Okay, I was a hardware systems engineer. So but still same bones, man. Same bones. Okay. Oh, no kidding. That's cool. Okay. Right on. Okay. So I shut down Video Ninja. Oh, I can just reopen. Hold on. I just got to reopen window. Give me just a second. I just got to find a spot where I can just reopen the window. Oh, it's going to make me do that, isn't it? Okay. Well, then we'll just, oh, there it is. Okay. Found it. All right. I'm back in Video Ninja. Yes. Okay, voice meter aux 1. Yeah. Okay, far right. Yeah. I'm here. A1 and B1. Okay. Mm-hmm. Audio source is B2. Mm-hmm. And then the output destination. Voice meter input. Okay, I had it set to aux input, so I just gotta need the regular input. Let me just find it. There it is. Okay. So it's set to voice meter input. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see the meters moving. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. It'll pipe out the B2. The only thing, yeah, if I can have somebody jump into Video Ninja as a guest, we can test it. And we can see. Because I mean, the nice thing is I'm seeing levels on Video Ninja. The problem that I had was TikTok guests could not hear somebody on Video Ninja. That was the only problem. You know what? I have my phone here. I can jump in there real quick. We can just use I can use my headset. So I'll jump in. Y'all will just hear me because oh yeah. Okay, we can have Mrs. Godless Engineer jump in. Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, the URL. Actually, I think it's still in the description, but it's just tinyurl.com/tbvguest. If you can remember all that. And I'm watching Video Ninja. Okay. Should be live. There. Okay. I see you. Hello. All right. I'm going to mute you. Okay. I can hear you. Yeah, she did. You can hear me, Mrs. Engineer? Okay. And I can hear. Okay. So, she can hear you, GE, but you can't hear her. And now we're back to the original problem that I had is TikTok can't hear Video Ninja guests. That's the problem I was like wrestling with, but I'll take that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. And so that was the whole entire problem I was trying to solve. And mm-hmm. Okay, audio output destination on Video Ninja, right? Okay. Aux input. Oh, okay. Aux input. There it is. All right. It's set to that. You got it? Oh, okay. There it is. That was way simpler. Fantastic. Oh, YouTube chat can't hear Godless. God damn. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's whack-a-mole with this. Yeah. That's what this has been. All right. And okay, here, let me try that. There's my window. Okay, to B1, which is voice meter input, right? It's the original. Oh, my bad. Voice meter out 1. Okay, voice. Oh, it's the audio source. My bad. Okay, I was looking at the wrong thing. Okay, B1. Got it. Okay. All right, let's give it a shot now. Okay, now she can't hear you. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, he's asking if chat on YouTube can hear him. And then for that matter, chat, can you verify that you can hear Mrs. Engineer? Okay, so TikTok can hear all three of us, so that's good. Until we break it again, but yeah. Okay, and YouTube, okay, so YouTube can only hear me, so they can't hear either of you. Uh-huh. Okay, and this is for which source, or it's for audio sources? Okay, so we're going to set it back to B2. Got it? Okay. Okay. And can you hear your wife? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I only have that one source. That's right. Okay. Voice meter input. Okay. Now I can do that a couple ways. I can go into settings, right? Under audio, and I can add a source there. Either desktop audio or something like that. Or I can just add a source under source, hit the little plussy under source. This is going to be, how about if I just do the plussy under source? Which one is it going to be? Uh-huh. Just my mic. Correct. Right. Nothing from voice meter. Okay. Okay, so I need 2 output sources. Okay, so let me try that. Okay, so we'll call this one Video Ninja. Start with that one. And then the device is going to be, which one again? Input. It's going to be B2,
voice
right?
meter. It's voice meter input is the speaker that you're going to use, because that's what your audio is on TikTok.
Okay. There it is. And now I can hear, I see levels when you talk.
When I talk, you see levels. Okay, then we should be coming through on the YouTube. Now add another one for voice meter aux input.
Voice meter aux. Okay. So actually, let me rename this real quick just so that I don't get these confused. So this is voice meter input. And then this one's going to be input aux. So let me add that audio output capture. Yeah. So voice meter input aux. Okay. And then I'm going to set this device to input aux. If I can find it in the list. Voice meter aux input. There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right. Now, honey, I need you to talk and see if she has levels.
Yep.
Okay.
She has levels.
Yeah.
All right. Now the YouTube chat should be able to hear us.
Okay. They have Godless audio. And how about Mrs. Godless? Can you hear Mrs. Godless?
Yeah. I mean, I can hear myself. Does that help? Probably not.
Oh, wait, are you being fed back through? Like, is it an echo for you?
Are you echoing? Yeah.
No, for me, no.
Oh.
No. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean an echo. I just meant, never mind. I was just trying to make a joke. Forget it.
Yep. They can hear both.
They can hear both.
YouTube.
Okay. I think we fixed we might have fixed it. Okay, fantastic. And then just one more check. TikTok, you can hear everybody, right? TikTok chat. Okay. I think we fixed it. Well, you fixed it.
Yep.
Fantastic. All right.
I did all the work.
Yes, you
right?
did. Yes, you did.
Yeah.
We'll give
You're
you all
welcome.
the
You
credit.
were the saving grace there. Huh?
Yes, you are. You're a saving grace. Just like my wife is a saving grace. Yes.
Well, it was nice to meet you. I'm going to hang up now.
It was nice to meet you too, Mrs. Engineer. Thank you for your
Bye.
help. Appreciate you. All right,
Bye.
right on. Cool. We got it. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Now I'm all ready for March when I have you, when you have me on.
Yeah. So you just gotta this can be confusing, and feel free to hit me up if you go to stream again and
Anytime.
you can't and you can't figure it out. But essentially, in your OBS scene for the YouTube crowd, you've got to have both of those audio
That makes
outputs.
sense now.
in
Yeah,
there.
that makes sense.
And then you got to have like B1, B2 for your audio. So you got to have different audio sources for Video Ninja in there. But for YouTube crowd, it has to be directly from your mic.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely going to document all this. And then I'm going to make a Google Doc out of it. That's what actually I was doing before I jumped on today. I was doing it, but I'm going to do it for this because you got it to work. So I want to remember this and then actually also help anyone else in the future. So
yeah,
I will do that. Man, thank you so much. Thank you again. And you're welcome to stick around if you want. If we have any guests.
Yeah. You mind if I stick around for maybe a couple guests?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'll turn off my camera.
Cool. All right. So we'll
I'm still big over here on TikTok, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Now you're tiny again. Okay. And just as we have it, there are no guests. No guests in the queue. But I can okay, so now we can tell everybody. Okay, now we're taking guests. And we can take guests on the other side. So big W for Godless. And if y'all have any gifts for Godless, please. Godless saved my ass. So that's amazing.
Well, yeah. As soon as I heard you talking about all the sources and everything like that, I was like, he's got to be using Voice Meter Banana. I know exactly how to fix this.
Yeah. It's just and like it's just you just have to hit the combinations, right? You have to do like the combinations, and once you get that, because I knew that's what it was. I was like, okay, it's something here, but the double feed that was killing me. But
yeah, it always helps me to think about, at least in my head, what I picture is sort of like almost like a circuitry diagram, you know?
Yeah,
and I try to visualize the inputs and outputs from each thing and how it's got to feed in. Mm-hmm. And it's like as soon as the YouTube couldn't hear us, started going through like, why can't they hear us? They should be able to hear us. And then I remembered that on my setup, I've actually got like multiple sources that pull from the different things and mix them into the YouTube feed. And I'm like, that's got to be it.
Yeah, that must be. Well, I think what I want to do, GEs, I'll restart the live on TikTok, because then it'll repropagate to everybody's feeds, and then because I'm only going to be on for like another hour, so okay, that should at least get us at least one or two more guests. So let's do that. I'm going to restart everybody, and then we'll repropagate to the feeds, and we'll see if we can get a guest in. So okay, well then I'll see you in a minute, GE. This will be fun.
All right,
right on, brother. Okay. All right. So I'm going to keep YouTube. I'll keep you guys hot and live. So you guys will remain. Okay, let's start her up again. Oh, shit. I put testing my setup as the description. Oh, well. It'll be fine. A lot of people found me from before, which is kind of funny. All right, welcome back in, TikTok people. But we finally got it figured out. Finally. Okay, and for the 23 diehards on YouTube, man, you guys are something else. So, lots of respect. All right. So we're just restarting the live, and we just want to get we had some audio difficulties that we had to work out. So we got at least one. We're going to get at least one, maybe two talks in before I got to go. And I'm just waiting for Godless Engineer to come back. And there he is. So let's see if we can get a guest in the queue. But
what up?
Hey, what up? Hey, this is like a good rehearsal, like a dress rehearsal.
Yeah.
Like an audition, like an audition for me. Yeah. So, hey, I just want to say thank you for inviting me to come on to the line. That's a heck of an honor. So I am very honored that you invited me on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that pushed through. Like right now, there's
worries.
A lot of people. Yeah, there's a lot of people vying for those spots on the weekends, and I think that you're a perfect candidate for it. So I don't think that there's going to be a problem. getting you on there. But yeah, I'm working on getting scheduled now,
That's
and I'll
awesome.
let you know.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, no worries. But just the invite alone, that's an honor. So if it doesn't even pan out and it has to go later, that's fine. But yeah, I'm down. Yeah, because I've watched I've watched you when you were on ACA and all that stuff. So this is kind of awesome that we're co-hosting. So heck of an honor, my man.
I'm just some asshole on the internet.
Me too. How about that? That's just who I am. All right, we have a guest in the queue, so let's bring him up. Let's just not waste any time here. All right. How's it going, Miss A?
Yes, hi. How's it going?
Doing well. Thanks for asking. This is my friend Godless Engineer. So, thanks for coming in. And just for TikTok purposes, you're at least 18.
Yes, I'm actually 32.
Okay, fantastic.
Getting very old.
All right. Which God do you believe in? The God of the Bible, the Torah, or the Quran?
I believe in the God of the Bible.
Okay. What's your best evidence that God is real? Start the timer.
Yes, I think I might have been asked this question before in some other thing. But anyways, I believe God is real because the Bible. I trust the books in the Bible to be written by people who actually experienced God.
Okay. All right. And in that sense then, so you're saying that the Bible, you believe the Bible is real, and that's your evidence that God is real. And then how do we know the Bible is true?
So we could basically first, I think the Bible. There are different translations of the Bible, KJV and NIV. But all of them, if you read the Bible's history, it goes back at least 1,800 or 1,900 years. The New Testament, what we read today in the 21st century, has always existed since, I think, the first century AD. So the fact that it's so close to the lifetime or existence of Jesus Christ itself is one evidence, one huge telling that it's
Okay.
quite close, to the event. And
Okay. Sounds like a couple of different reasons then, because I heard like the age of it, and that it was written so close to Jesus's life. I mean, anywhere from 40 to 100 years, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
That's my strongest belief.
Okay. So then we think about like the age part, because it sounds like that's actually two different reasons, but I'll talk about the age part first, since that's the first one you brought it up. How does age make it true? Because like the Bhagavad Gita has been around longer than the Bible, right? It was written before the Bible. So by that logic, you would say the Bhagavad Gita is true and Hinduism is true.
Yes, that's a good question. It's so the New Testament. I believe that the authors of the New Testament experienced the divine in the sense of Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
the
then
person Jesus Christ.
Okay, so
it's
now
close to his lifetime. Yeah.
All right. So then we're kind of jumping to the divine part. Okay, and GE just jump in anytime. But so then my next question would be, how do we have evidence for the divine part, like Jesus? And I think what you're talking about is Jesus resurrecting and ascending into heaven, right?
Yes, and also 5,000 miracles. Feeding 5,000. And yeah, but basically, they wrote down their experience of the divine. The fact that it's so close to the lifetime of Jesus Christ.
Wait, if I can ask, so what I'm taking away, and tell me if I'm wrong about this, is that you think the title authors, the title people, the people mentioned in the titles, are the ones that wrote the Gospels?
I think the title name is added, I think, later. So Mark did it right. There's no evidence that Mark wrote Mark or
Okay.
Luke wrote Luke.
Okay.
What? Right. And then my next
But
question
it
would
could be
be,
them. It could be them, but there's no
it
evidence.
can't. No, it can't be them. Just by pure fact of like traditionally who like Mark, Matthew, and all them were supposed to be. There's no way that they wrote anything down. They were supposed to be illiterate, like fishermen and stuff. But in any case, how then do
I
you
think wasn't
know?
Luke a physician?
He claim. I mean, it's claimed like within it, maybe.
Yeah,
But
he's a Roman scholar. I think Luke is a physician. I don't know about Mark and Matthew. We also have Peter, First Peter, Second Peter. Peter is also
no, those are those.
writing.
Well, First Peter might have been written by Cephas, but we can't actually show that. Second Peter is actually definitely not written by the same author of First Peter. But
Yeah,
so
I don't believe in stylometry, by the way. But go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Regardless of all that, how do you know like what the sources were for the Gospels?
Basically, the claim that there was a Q Gospels and then 3 of the Gospels. I don't buy into that.
Well, hold on. So do we actually have Q?
That's the thing. There is no Q. It's more of like a scholarly, intellectual projection or estimation.
Fabrication. Oh, yeah, projection.
Estimation.
Gotcha.
Projection. Yeah.
Okay, so basically, so let me get this straight. So basically, there were some scholars that had problems with how interconnected the synoptic gospels were. So they invented a gospel to patchwork in some kind of source that they could have pulled from. And you think it's compelling that they manufactured this extra gospel in order to explain what they couldn't understand at the time, despite the fact that we have a better explanation in the two source hypothesis, or I can't remember what it's called. It's the fair error hypothesis. It's where Mark was written first, Matthew then copied off of Mark, and then Luke copied from both Mark and Matthew. Each one elaborated and created their own information to work into it. That eliminates the need for Q, and it shows that we don't really know of any sources behind the Gospels whatsoever.
Right.
The only thing that we can know for sure is that they use scriptures because they directly reference scriptures.
And in a lot of cases, not very well.
More of the way I put it is that the scholars created a thesis that there could have been a Q gospel, but until you actually provide either a manuscript or some evidence that this existed, it still be a projection. So for as long as it remains projection, is based on your stylometric analysis of the 3 gospels.
I don't really go with the stylometric route. Sorry for interrupting, but I want to go down this one road real quick, and then I swear I'm not trying to overtake your live.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're doing fine.
So let's even grant you Q, right? Let's just say that there was a Q gospel, right? Fine. Let's grant you that. How do you know what's in it? And then how do you know that that's independent information?
Oh, I am not supporting the Q thesis. If you get that wrong out, that wasn't what I'm saying. I just don't buy the Q thesis. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
If I concede, yeah, you're saying if I concede to the Q.
Well, right. Sorry, I thought you were mentioning Q as like one of the sources for the Gospels.
I got that impression too. So.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I just don't. I don't buy to the Q thesis.
Okay. So you'll buy into
Q. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So let's go back to the Gospels now. What were the sources for the Gospels, and can you identify them as being independent?
So the sources, for example, when it comes to the Gospel of John, the author himself said that he said the disciple the Lord loves and stuff. So in the Gospel of John,
that's Lazarus. That's Lazarus, but Lazarus did not exist. I mean, he's a mythical creation. So
I mean, in the Gospel of John, the author identifies himself as saying, I'm the disciple who the Lord loves.
Right, that's Lazarus.
Right. Yeah, we're saying the same thing. That's Lazarus.
I don't know if that is like a joke or
And
like
if
you want to
no,
get
it's not.
seriously.
It's not a joke. If you read the Gospel of John, the only disciple that Jesus identifies as like loving, or the only person that he identifies as loving, is Lazarus after he resurrects. After he resurrects Lazarus, so yeah, and that Lazarus story is a total fabrication. It's a riff on the Luke Lazarus, because the Luke's Lazarus is actually a parable, right, meant to describe this how yeah, it was something about miracles and faith and everything like that. It's not going to be able to save you from hell or whatever. But the Gospel of John turns that on its head and says, no, Lazarus was a real person that Jesus really resurrected. So
No, I mean, I guess you're stating a lot of things. I'm not sure if I catch what you're saying. But to answer the question, in the book of the Gospel of John, the author himself, the author of that gospel,
right. Okay. Well, we were
identifies
talking about the
himself.
Synoptics Gospels, and now you're switching to John. John's a completely
Yeah,
different
I'm
set,
about
even though
to.
it's
I was
based on the
about to go. Yeah,
Synoptics.
And
yeah.
then
I was
there's
about
another
to go to
there's
the other
another
three
bit of a
Gospels.
piece to that, and you're probably gonna
Yeah, I
expand
was
on this,
about to go
Masay.
to the Synoptics.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead.
the problem with
Yeah.
John also is that we have evidence that it was multiple authors that wrote John, and and the other thing that's hard to get around overall is that all of the Gospels, from scholarly research, strongly suggest that they were all written anonymously. So we actually don't know who wrote these Gospels.
Yeah. So first, I think the first point is that when it comes to the Gospel of John, the idea that many authors wrote that is due to stylometric analysis, which is basically a weak classifier. It can, like, stylometric can fail, like 80 out of 100 it fails. For example, if you write a letter, an email, let's say you wrote in 2022, and you feed it into a stylometric statistical algorithm, then you write an email right now, it will most likely identify it as two different people writing that email, because it's
Right.
using like
Well,
back of words.
Well, not just that,
It will
but
also will probably make it 4 people wrote it.
okay. Well,
So
not just
it's not
that,
regarded.
but
Yeah.
there's other pieces to it. Like there's part in, there's an ending to the Gospel of John, and then it's clear that something's been added on to the end of that. So I believe it's the last chapter that it looks pretty clear that it was, it was added on. And then the other part of it is that they use the word "we" as, as saying that we are the ones who wrote this. So, so this was theorized before they did the stylometric analysis.
Yeah, I think the last part. So John was definitely writing to. John was talking about the community of the apostles, like the people who saw this divine.
Yeah.
So he was saying, we. So he's right when he's writing to. I think he might be writing to the church in First John, Second John. He had his own, apostolic ministry, and he had by the time.
But it says that we wrote
probably
this,
tens of
like
thousands of
multiple people
followers.
wrote it. That's what I mean. Is that multiple people
Yeah,
wrote
the
it?
context is saying it's we, when he says we, it's me. He meant we, the 12, me, Peter, me, John, Peter, all of us. We, that's what it means. That's the theological. That is actually the theological breakdown of that statement, because that is in fact a well-known theology.
Yeah, it doesn't read that way. I mean, I can go into it, but then the other piece of it is also John was illiterate. Just like what Godless Engineer said, is that these disciples were all illiterate. And so how could John have written anything if he was illiterate?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, first of all, I think we get the idea that they were illiterate from the same gospel, so the same gospel that some people don't believe in. But even even if they are illiterate, the illiteracy is not like in the 21st century, maybe you are illiterate or literate. But then in that time, after these people spread up their language, you could, as adults, you could learn to write, you could do many things. You could.
No. So
and so
sorry, I've got to push back against this. There was a very slim percentage of the population that could even attend the pagan schools that would be required for them to learn how to write in Greek.
Yeah.
And so, like, it definitely wasn't like, oh, you could just learn to write in Greek. No, you had to, one, had the affluency in order to be able to go to the schools, and you also had to have the affluency to not need to like work to live so that you could go to the schools. So like you're just wrong about that. It was a very slim amount of people that could both read and write
Right.
in Greek. Speaking, so let me finish with this. Speaking Greek was totally different skill than reading and writing in Greek. And the reading and writing in Greek required you to actually go to one of the pagan schools. That's why you see so many parallels with a bunch of the Greek epics, like the Homer's Iliad and Odyssey that appears in Luke and Acts. And then you've got some other constructions in there that probably derive from other Greek works at that time. So, but I mean, that's the reason why it appears in there like that.
Yeah, I think the misconception first is that they were not, these authors were not in the Judean province of the Roman Empire. So while some aspect of the Jews were Hellenized, like Saul was also, he's I think he's even a Roman citizen. They were basically they were living in that Judaic province, in Roman Judea, before I think the war of 70 AD. Before Titus came and destroyed that cultural Judaic cultural center.
Right.
Secondly,
So all this,
they were speaking Aramaic. Yeah. So pagan schools is not even allowed. I don't think there is pagan school. It's a different culture than the pagan.
No. I'm so sorry. They would have literally, in order to write and read in Greek, they would have literally had to go and learn at pagan schools. Yeah. So you're just wrong there.
Those were written in Greek.
And these are, and we're talking about middle-aged men that would be doing this, and that just was unheard of at the time.
Yeah. So I don't think it was originally written in Greek. Those are the translations.
Okay. So we're just making up information.
Yeah,
now.
that's not that's not what the scholarly.
No. So the problem the problem is that the people who existed there spoke Aramaic in Judea. First of all, pagan schools, we're talking about Jewish culture, I think 2-3 million, according to estimations.
Well, yeah,
so
but it was the Jewish,
they don't know.
Sorry, it was the Jewish culture in the midst of being Hellenized.
The Roman Empire, yes.
Yeah.
They were being Hellenized at the time.
Yeah, the Tetrarchy. But to say Mark or Luke, pagan schools and stuff is completely alien to them. Probably.
No, that's not completely alien to them, because they would have had.
That is.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you can deny this all that you want to, but that's just simply not true. We're getting away from the actual crux of all this.
Yeah. I'm going to the step. Yeah, but just you had a misconception, historical misconception of that.
Well, I'm just let me try to steel man the reason.
Yeah, but let me go. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me try to steel man your position here, just that maybe we can do another reset. You believe in the Christian God because of the Bible, basically, and the Gospels, because you think that the Gospels were written by eyewitnesses. We've tried to go down several paths of you establishing that they were written by eyewitnesses, or they are representative of independent eyewitness accounts, and you actually haven't been able to provide us with that. So I'm just kind of curious if we can maybe get back on track instead of going down this road of the Greek and how they could have written in Greek. But can we get back to this idea that they were written by eyewitness accounts, or they were at least written by people that were close enough to the events to have independent knowledge of these events happening?
Yes. So thank you. I was just trying to address some of the questions that you're raising, which why I went into another distraction. But the reason why I believe there were eyewitness of people who were there is, first of all, the fact that most of these accounts originated. I think we even have archaeological evidences. I think P52, P52, 45. The various. And the earliest one is known to have been from 125, and it has the entire Gospel of John. 125 AD is the earliest. So if that is the earliest, if that is the
P52 is not the entire.
There might be a typo with the exact manuscripts, but we
it's
have
a fragment.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
fragment,
we have
and we're
all
still
those
kind of getting
fragments.
away from
Yeah,
the.
yeah, fragments. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not
this
sure
is
how
one
this
example.
is
Yeah, I'm
relates.
trying to. Yeah. So what I can say is that 25 before 2540 years before that, if we estimate that Jesus Christ existed in the first century AD, in some time window frame in the first century AD, and if the earliest fragments is 125 AD, we're talking about 99 years differences, and we have to assume that it could be earlier because it's scientific, it's not known. So when you have fragment like most of First John is in that fragment and stuff like that, the fact that it's
It
closer
is not.
to
It's not
I
the
can
most.
say that it's closer
Are
to.
you saying
Yeah.
P52 contains most of wait, First John or John chapter 1?
Not I mean, I'm not sure about the details, but some aspects of John,
Yeah, it's just a
like the
fragment. It
entire
doesn't have
gospel.
the
That
entire
yeah,
gospel in there.
fragments. Yeah, like if I open John today in the 21st century, I read it. The aspect, the chapter that some of that exists in that, and it's too close to the event, to the lifetime of Jesus Christ, to the assumed lifetime of Jesus Christ, for me not to say that this was an eyewitness.
Yeah,
like somebody 50
well,
years later, somebody wrote that.
I got to
Go
jump
ahead.
in real quick because I think we're kind of getting bogged down in the details here. Because even so, let's just say that that these fragments contain these gospels and all that stuff. I think the thing we're getting away from is the fact that in no way does a fragment demonstrate eyewitness testimony, right? Because this could have all been incorrect, and it could have just been a writing, and we can't even establish who wrote these. And, you just kind of have to assume, right? And so I think the real part, the crux of what we can get to of your argument is, how do we know even these apostles existed? Because we don't have anything on these apostles, do we? We don't accept, what people claim to be these writings, but we don't have anything independently, any independent writings from them. We don't have any contemporary evidence from other people that attests that these apostles lived. We don't have any government documents of these apostles. We don't even know if these are their real names.
Yes. So I think part of the reason is because this was just I think the first 90 years, 100 years, it was just a beginning sect, a beginning religious.
Well,
So
I mean,
I'm sure there will be
that you can
countless
say
other.
that, but see the problem with that is that like other historical figures, right? We can independently verify that they've existed. But we don't have like any no government records, no census data of these people being alive or existing. They could have just been, made up characters. We don't even know if Jesus had 12 disciples. We have no way to verify that. The only way you have that is through the Bible. Like, what independent evidence do you have that any of these apostles existed? I mean, I can grant you two. And even that is murky evidence, but the John, Mark, Matthew, Luke, Matthias, Andrew, any of these other ones, we have no idea if they existed.
Yes. So the fact that there's only the letters and these writings to show that they existed, and the fact that outside of those writings, no other writings don't exist, I don't think it will automatically lead to the conclusion that these people didn't exist.
I didn't say that.
So
I just said to verify that they exist.
Yeah.
well,
But I do
Messe,
get the gist of what you're saying. But if granted, it is possible that we will have strong attestations of highly important historical kings, emperors, or
so
political
Messe,
figures. But it would be hard for us to have independent
Messe.
attestation of other minor
Messe.
subgroups within the Roman Empire. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I've got an actual like example for you, and I'm wondering maybe if you can point to Jesus and give us a comparable situation there. So Alexander the Great, we know he existed and he lived. There's been several different biographies written about him and everything like that, and we've got even archaeological evidence for him. But as far as comparing him to Jesus, what we have is a biography written by Arian. And the thing is that in Arian's biography of him, he has an entire front-loaded section where he talks about the sources that he used. And the sources that he used were like 2 of Alexander the Great's generals' writings, and then other things. And so he painstakingly goes through, lists who they were, who these firsthand eyewitness accounts were, why they were the best ones to use, and how he was going to rectify any contradictions between his sources, right? And so Arian was writing 500 years after Alexander the Great died. And but the thing is that he had access to firsthand eyewitness accounting that we don't have access to now. So the only way that we can actually access that is through Arian's writing and other people's writings that would have used it. And so how can you compare this to Jesus? Do we have anything like this for Jesus? Do we have anybody writing about Jesus that claims to be an eyewitness of a physical Jesus before he was crucified?
Yes. The reason is because when you talk about religious founders and sects during that Mediterranean era, for example, even within Christianity, we have the Arianism sect, which grew up, which is estimated. The Arianism is thought to have come from Arius, who was a priest. You will be hard pressed to actually find them to be as highly attested as a great world conqueror like Alexander the Great, who then had other Greek-related families like the Ptolemy Seleucids rule his kingdom. When his empire got broken down.
I don't need you to focus on how I don't need you to focus on the
Alexander.
Hold on a sec. Hold on. Go ahead.
You don't need to focus on the popularity of Alexander the Great. That's not the demonstration that I was doing. The demonstration in my example was that Arian used firsthand eyewitness accounting of him, right? So that's the point that I was trying to make there, and I just need you to focus on that point.
And it was cross-referenced. That's the other important piece. It wasn't just saying, "Hey, I have eyewitness accounts." It was actually cross-referenced.
Right. So, and I'm trying to get you. No, you're fine, Trust. You're good. So I'm just trying to get you to try to identify any actual firsthand eyewitness accounting that's used. I don't get and me pointing out the 500-year time frame means that it doesn't have to be from the 1st century, but it definitely has to reference documentation that would have been around in the 1st century, and it has to be documentation that talks about a pre-crucified Jesus that was ministering to people.
Yes, I think the way I was trying to approach it is you have to put Jesus Christ in the same league as, for example, the Gratian brothers of Rome, or the Gratiani brothers of Rome, or Hannibal Barca, or or maybe some of the various proconsuls of the Roman Empire, because if you put Jesus Christ's popularity in the same level as like Julius Caesar, you will find, because after Julius Caesar came, we had other Caesars, right? Even the name emperor became Caesar, right? So you'll find strong attestations of this highly dynamic, highly popular historical figures. With Jesus Christ, at least until Christianity spread.
So Messe, it's a bit funny to me, this line of questioning that you're going down here, or this thought process you're going down here, because you're actually trying to convince me that Jesus in his time, under your, like, I'm doing an internal critique of your view right now, right? So you believe the Gospels. You believe that the Gospels record actual historical events, but you're trying to convince me that Jesus wasn't popular enough, even though he rode in on a donkey to Jerusalem and had all of Jerusalem out there to greet him and celebrate him, had those palm trees, they were fanning him and everything like that. They greeted him. And then he got in trouble with the Romans at that time, so in such a big fashion that they had a big public trial over it, where Pilate was just so distraught over having to execute yet another Jew, right? And so you're trying to tell me that this entire affair that drew crowds of hundreds, if not thousands, was not important enough for somebody like Josephus to write about, or somebody like Pliny the Elder, or somebody like, whoever. Like, you're trying to actually convince me of that right now? Like, I feel like you need to refactor your thought process.
Yeah, and then if we take in the,
I'm trying to,
we take in the consideration of these miracles that supposedly happened, like it says in the chat, 5,000 people were fed with loaves and fishes. And now we're saying, oh, well, he wasn't that popular though. You see what I mean? Like we're kind of making concession, you're making this conditional as if he wasn't popular enough, but then all these miracles were happening and nobody thought to write this down until decades later.
Yeah, so I think one of the great historical inaccuracies that's being made is to differentiate the Judean province, which was taken over, with the entire Roman Empire, I think 40 million, 50 million at the time. So Augustus Caesar or Tiberius Caesar, those were popular by 40, 50 million people, like the whole empire knows them. But here we are talking about just a client kingdom that joined the Roman Empire. So when Jesus is popular, he's popular among the 2 million, the lost sheep of Israel, whatever quotation he uses, but he's popular among them. Eventually, this religion does end up spreading throughout the Mediterranean, where I think by 1st century AD, we have one of the emperors writing about how to persecute this sect and stuff. But
this entire line of logic is like nails on a chalkboard to me. Look, I know you've only got a few seconds left, but I'm wondering, do you know who the Egyptian is?
I think you're referring to one of those writings. I don't know if it's by Josephus or somebody who talked about maybe some independent person writing about the Egyptian Jesus or something. Maybe
it was a failed Messiah called the Egyptian who amassed a number of people on the Mount of Olives and then tried to invade and take over Jerusalem from the Romans, and that made it into the history books.
One thing is that in that Judaic time, I think even after the Maccabees times, there were a lot of Messiah pretenders who have actually risen in the Judean culture or in the Judean province. Even in the Bible,
keep Jesus talking. Christ, I'll start the kickball.
I think even Nicodemus refers to various messiahs who arose before Jesus Christ. So
you're telling me so Jesus is simultaneously popular enough to get a big welcoming party into Jerusalem, popular enough for his trial to be attended by thousands, and then also these low-level failed messiahs, though they got recorded, but the very popular Jesus did not.
And they didn't. There is no record of all the messiahs. I think even Hannibal, Simon of Barca. I think one thing. Even he does. He does have people writing about him. But if you if you don't accept Luke or whatever, John or the epistles as historical, even Simon Barca, the guy who rebelled, the Barakaba revolt, even he has one or two authors. One or two people talking about him, but if you say they have agenda,
which is counter to your entire apologetic here about how Jesus was not
you just
popular
your entire thing.
No. What I'm saying popular, I'm talking about popularity in terms of the known world, at the time, the Roman Empire.
A Jewish Roman author that was specifically a Jewish Roman author that was specifically writing about the Jewish people and the things that happened in Judea at this time, even to the point of recording lowly failed messiahs, did not write about this particular Jesus.
The one of let me state it because I think I'm about to.
Okay. Last point, and then we got to move on. But, go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, the fact that 125 AD is the existence, 125 to 150 AD. Within that time, we have actual archaeological evidences of the various fragments of the various manuscripts, and the fact that it's so close to 70 AD, or the time that whatever window that Jesus Christ is considered to have existed, tells me that within that 50 years, it's hard for people to fabricate or to say whatever statement, what I believe is whatever thing you think would happen when it comes to fabrication manipulation. It's hard for that. If you had probably said it happened in the 3rd or 4th century, I can accept it because there was a huge movement, Christian movement, and then there is a magisterium and they have a reason to do it. But the fact that it happened within 50, 60 years, it just seems to kind of undercut your entire argument that people made these writings, because the earliest is, and this is just archaeology, what has been found, the fragments that have been found, and they have exact chapters like what we are reading today in the 21st century. Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, Masay, thanks for coming up. Appreciate your time. Have a good day. All right. Yeah, he kind of defeated his own argument there right at the very end.
Yeah. And I'm so sorry I feel like I took over that conversation.
No. It's fine. I said
okay.
Jump in anytime. No, you were fine.
Yeah. Well, I know sometimes I info dump on, especially on history of like the Gospels and Christianity and stuff.
It's not a bad
but
thing.
Yeah. Well, right there at the end when he was talking about how close they are to the events and that somehow makes them more true.
Yeah.
Well, it's not true that they're so close, but also that's not any kind of verification of what actually happened.
Nothing to do with it being true. Yeah, exactly. It could have been written the same day, and if that doesn't mean it's true. I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I've actually got to drop down too because I need to call my son. I've actually got a class that I'm taking tonight.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
It was great hanging out with you.
It was great hanging out. Thanks again. And everybody, send Godless Engineer with follows, likes, gifts. Not only that, you helped me out with my audio setup, but you stuck around for a while, so I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah, and if it mucks up again, you just let me know, I'll try to get you set up. Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks a lot.
Yep. See you later.
All right. See ya. All right. That was Godless Engineer. So, yeah. A lot of you know him, but if you don't, you should really follow him because he's been a creator for a long time. He's really well known on YouTube, on the YouTube side. But I've been watching him for years. So he's one of the folks that got me motivated me to be a streamer. So this is, so it's a bit of an honor for me. So I was happy to have him up here. So that was cool. It was a good conversation, but yeah, there was a lot of misunderstandings about like the historical evidence that he was trying to present, and a lot of it really isn't evidence, that the guest was putting forth. So it was, there was a lot of narrative stuff in there, but all right. Well, we have time for one more, so maybe two more, but definitely one more. And we do have somebody in the guest queue, so let's bring him up. All right. How's it going?
All right. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just for TikTok purposes, you're at least 18?
Yes, 19, born in 2006.
All right. Okay. And which God do you believe in?
Oh, I was just up here to defend classical theism, if that's okay. If you're looking for someone to defend a particular god of a religion, then I'll drop down and you can do that. But if not, I'd love to present an argument for the existence of God.
Okay, just God in general.
Yeah.
But now as classical theism goes, does it subscribe to one of the three books that I listed?
Oh, I would not know.
Or is it just a God in general? Just the existence of a God in general?
Just the existence of a God, not nothing more than that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I prefer to talk to, people who believe in the Abrahamic God. So maybe if I do a more general God thing, we can talk, but not today.
All right. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah. Enjoy your day. But thanks for coming up. Appreciate you.
Of course.
All right. Okay. I think, I just want to stick to theists today. Well, not classical theism, but to Abrahamic God believers. I wanted to stick to that. And I suspect it was going to go to like syllogisms and all that, and which I don't mind doing. I really don't mind. But you know what? After putting you all through like like an hour and a half troubleshooting session of my audio shit, and then to put you through a Philbro syllogism, I don't think that's fair to my chat. Because I would have just, yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, you might be in the minority today, Livia, because yeah, you missed the entire troubleshooting I went through with my audio setup, and I thought I had it fixed, and then it didn't. It wasn't fixed, so just not today. I think that's why I kind of held fast. Yeah. See, we thank you for that. Yeah. See, I'm not totally dense. I'm not totally clueless. But opinion on the Steen files. Well, it's horrible shit that's in there. Awful, and nobody's getting prosecuted. That's the more outrageous part. Not only just that's the even more disgusting than what's in the files. You know, we should be having prosecutions, and you know, nobody's getting investigated. Like there's not even at least in the US, nobody's getting investigated. It's happening outside of the US. But there's definitely, yeah, it's just not right. Yeah, the rest of the world's responding fine, but nobody in America is like, it's wild to me. It's wild to me. And, you know, and I got to be honest, you know, it's, you know, you look no further than, you know, this is sounding, you know, this is looking a lot like when the Catholic Church was doing their cover-ups and these other churches were doing their cover-ups of similar stuff. They were just trying to quietly sweep it under the rug. They were trying to settle out of court. They were reassigning priests to different places and all this other stuff. It looks a lot like the same. And then when it's coming out, it's all about just trying to keep a lid on it, trying to downplay it, trying to minimize it. You know, and there's just people who are trying to blow the lid off of this. Like nobody should be cool with this. Nobody. And like it's indefensible. Absolutely indefensible. So I think that's really about as far as I'll go with that because, yeah. And, you know, I don't care who's on it. If you're on the list and there's evidence against you, I don't care who you are, what your political party is, what business you own, you should be investigated and brought to justice. Just straight up. Anybody, doesn't matter who it is. I don't care who it is. Anybody. You just got to clean it all, man, because there's just so much rot in there. Just get them all out. So do not care. I mean, the whole system crumbles, so be it. It just means you either rebuild or you have a new system. Maybe that's the clue to get a new system. I don't know. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. I'm just saying. But you know what? Who knows? If there's a better system that needs to be put in place, then why not just go with it? Because clearly what's going on right now is not working. So it's just like hey, why don't we try something else? But is Ash here tonight? You know, I haven't seen Ash, so I don't know. I was like elbows and asses deep in trying to fix my audio issues, and they finally got fixed. But yeah, this is the thing, is that it's immoral. Like if there's people that have been harmed, there clearly has. I think we all can agree on that. Like nobody is disputing that. So that I would say is clearly true. There were some people harmed. Horribly harmed. All right. There are people who died for this. And the fact that nobody's getting investigated, it's straight up immoral. I mean, people ought to be investigated and people ought to be brought to justice, because that means that, and it's not only to get justice for the victims and the survivors now, but to prevent and minimize harm to future victims. You know, if anything, is to have no victims in the first place, no future victims at all. I think we can all agree with that. but somehow this is not understood by certain people in the government, and that's just too bad. So yeah. Okay, that's search fine. That's just, I don't know what to say about that. Atheists are proof that God exists. So then that means there's proof that Santa Claus exists, because there are people who don't believe in Santa Claus. Those who don't believe in Bigfoot, that's proof that Bigfoot exists. It just doesn't make sense. What? Like, what? It just doesn't make any sense. If you don't believe in something, that means it exists. So I guess everything we don't believe in exists. It just doesn't make any sense. So I'm here for a little bit longer. So if anyone wants to come up and we can have a chat about your evidence that God is real. You know, we got in one good discussion today with the first guest. And again, big W to the first guest, because she toughed it out and powered through a horrible echo that she was hearing on her end. And I gaslit her unintentionally, I will say. I unintentionally gaslit her and told her, oh, it's just TikTok Studio not doing its job. And she's like, okay, and just kept talking through it. Oh, props to that guest. So deserves a big W for that. Josephine. She powered through it, talked through it, and even through me unintentionally gaslighting her. So that was something. But I'm hoping my she said I made some good points. So she was at least like intellectually honest. And that's all we can ask for. Why aren't people obsessed with disproving Santa's existence? And nobody's here trying to disprove existence, Search Fine. I don't see why you get that. TBV, yeah, I know. You can just, put a big sigh. TBV showing it is, in fact, all men. Yep. See? Until it's no men, it's all men. Yep. Throw me in there, unfortunately. Yes, and she was a nice young lady, and I totally fucking gaslit her on her audio issues. So, jeez. Oh boy. I might have to clip that and just indict myself. Yeah. I might just have to clip all this. We can't help it. Alan Gibson, we can't help but gaslight people. Oh boy. That opens up a whole can of worms. Who created us? Our parents. Beyond that, someone did. We haven't existed forever. A higher power created us. And okay, so the P1, someone created us. P2, so that's like a non sequitur. P2, we haven't existed forever. Conclusion, a higher power created us. That's a non sequitur. Who created us? Someone did. Someone created us. We haven't existed forever. Therefore, God exists. That would be, yeah. That doesn't fly. So, sorry. TPV denied syllogism so he could do them himself. Yeah. So, but you haven't answered my question. What's your evidence that God exists? That God is real? And it's not a who, it's a what. And that would be the laws of physics, evolution through natural selection, adaptation, and abiogenesis. That's what we have evidence for. We have evidence for all of that. So why would I believe that a higher power is responsible for that? You do have a lot of knowledge, I do believe, but I definitely have questions. Well, you can come up and we can explore those questions together if you'd like. And I know things, but I don't know. I don't know nearly as much as Godless Engineer does. I mean, he's got like that historical thing locked. And I'm not too privy on the history because I just read the Bible and it doesn't make sense. And I've read the Quran, doesn't make sense. Read the Bhagavad Gita, the parts of it, big chunks that I've read of the Bhagavad Gita, doesn't make sense. And truthfully, they all make pretty much basically the same claims. So if all the claims are the same and they all have different conclusions, well, then it's just hard to believe that any of those are true. The Bible says that people would disown God's existence. So does the Quran, and so does the Bhagavad Gita. Search find. So that means you've just demonstrated all religions are true. That's what it says in what's that? So Scientology says the same thing. So when you don't understand, you have to faith. Why? Why can't you just say I don't know? So, and there's nothing about, and your heart won't receive if your mind isn't open. Yeah, my mind is very open. I'm a non-resistant non-believer. You provide me evidence and the evidence checks out, I'll believe it. I mean, that's just how it works. That's how it works for anything. Like, for example, if I tell you I have an invisible fire-breathing dragon in my house right now, are you just going to believe me? So let's see, the ones that are talking in chat that won't come up. Do you believe me that I have an invisible fire-breathing dragon in my house? Just because it's compelling doesn't mean it's true. There you go. God's invisible qualities are clearly viewed in creation. So Mercedes-Benz, because that's created, an Apple iPhone, my phone, that's where God's qualities are? What? In what sense? Don't you have a conscience and a mind? Yeah. Doesn't demonstrate that God's real. We have evidence of why we have a conscience, why we have a conscience and consciousness. Just because you don't understand something, that doesn't mean it's not true. Also, correct. There's a lot of physics that I don't understand. And I could say the same thing about you, right? Just because you don't understand quantum mechanics doesn't mean it's not true, because quantum mechanics is evidence that God doesn't exist. God isn't real. It's evidence that the universe has always been here. So you've just proved my point. So quantum physics demonstrates that the universe has always existed. It was not created. So we're just going to, just like you said, just because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's not true. Right? Can you talk more about how quantum physics demonstrates that? I'm curious. Yes. Quantum physics is the very base of quantum physics is the Schrodinger equation. The Schrodinger equation asserts that you can calculate the superposition of a particle, and the superposition is where that particle can be anywhere, all the possible positions. Calculate the superposition, the probability, you can calculate the probability of the superposition of a particle at any time in the past, present, or future. So that means that time is eternal. And also, it also implies, since you can calculate the particle superposition at any time, that means you have to have infinite space. So that means space has always existed. And then that also brings in implications of energy. So time, space, and energy have always existed. Those are the three basic building blocks of the universe. Without time, space, or energy, you probably don't have a universe. Because the universe is the manifold which holds everything, right? Stars, planets, galaxies, debris, asteroids, all that stuff. It's a manifold. It's a container. And so if some of those things, one or more of those things are missing, time, space, or energy, there's probably no universe. So if those three things are all eternal, then the universe is eternal. Do you have evidence that there isn't a God? Just told you. quantum mechanics, and also the attributes of the Abrahamic God, an all omni God. They contradict and are incoherent to what we know about our reality. So they all defy the laws of physics. An omnipotent, omniscient, all-loving God defies all the laws of, at least omnipotent and omniscient, defies the laws of physics, defies logic. So it's just like saying that squared circles exist. Defies logic. So that's evidence that God is not real. So what's your evidence that God is real? But there was great red dragon having 7 heads and 10 horns. On his heads were 7 crowns on them in heaven. Trust but verify. Well, see, that's true. Because if my dragon, invisible fire-breathing dragon, is real, then that 7-headed dragon must have been real. You actually don't believe we all come from a big bang. That's real nonsense. I didn't say that. So that's a straw man. In wrestling, they do squared circle. Hey, yeah, there's a Reddit. Isn't that a Reddit channel or a Reddit subreddit called Squared Circle? Fine-tuning of the universe is a declaration of the existence of God. Yeah, no. Because all I got to do is ask you one question, and it blows up fine-tuning. So come on up, and I can ask you. But you got to hurry up. So I'm not going to be here much longer, but no. I mean, I'll give you this. Some fine-tuning arguments are pretty good, but ultimately they fail. They ultimately fail because there's just one question you got to ask. No, I'm not going to say it. People got to come up and we'll have a conversation, but can't hide in my comments and then expect me to just have a conversation with people in my comments. And I got to go in a few minutes anyway. So you'll just have to come back another day. But if somebody jumps up, maybe. But yeah, it's just one simple question, and it trips everybody up on fine tuning every time. Trips them up every time. Actually, if you go to Talk Heathen and you watch the episode I'm on, you can go to Talk Heathen's YouTube channel. I actually asked the question, and it tripped up the person running fine tuning. Totally tripped them up. It's in JE's emails. That's the question is in JE's emails. Fine tuners don't want you to know this one weird trick. Yeah, exactly, Livia. Oh, you know what? I probably should just put Facebook ads out now. But yeah, you just ask them like one simple question, and then you just kind of take that. You just run with that. You ride that question. And you just ask the follow-up questions. I'm not going to tilt the hand. Actually, yeah, screw it. I'll tilt it. Okay, I'll say it. So the question, all you got to do is ask them, could God have created electrons with minds and accomplished the same exact thing? And the obvious answer is yes. And so that just totally destroys fine-tuning. Because if God could have just made electrons with minds, then there's no need for all of these constants and all of this stuff. He could have made the universe any way he wanted. So he could have made electrons with minds. He could have made up is down, down is up, because he's all powerful, right? So there's no need for the constants. So that means the universe could have been any way, any which way he wanted. So to say, well, the constants are the only way that this universe could be, well, that's not true. If we're talking about an omnipotent God. What argument of existence of God an atheist is very near to accept? If you can demonstrate to me that that there's a purpose for suffering, that might do it. And that's another one. That one's pretty undefeated too. You just go down the suffering route. There's no explanation for it. You're here. Okay? You have just verified every religion, George Duhan. And we also have evidence of what we're here through science. So it's no evidence at all. The you're here thing, or look at it's just another take on the trees. Just look at the trees. Yeah. It's a silly argument. I think it's a cop-out argument. Like, if that's all that convinced you to believe in God, just look everywhere. That's just... Why is it the closer we look at biology, the harder it is to explain its existence? Because biology isn't meant to explain existence. So you're looking in the wrong place if you're looking at biology. Oh, and that Floyd boy comes with the threat. See, that's what they do when they have nothing else to say. They threat. It's just silly. And I guess I should be afraid of monsters in my closet too, right? We're adults here. Just have an adult conversation. All right. Well, it's time for me to go. So we're going to bring up the mods now. Yeah. Sorry, Dylan. Come back another day because I gotta dip. It's time to go. I got time to give the mods some love, and I got time to do that, and that's about it. And Sunny, please request up. And 7 Lemons was here earlier, right? Oh, there's 7 Lemons still here. Or did 7 Lemons just make like a brief appearance and then leave?
He likes to do the oh, there he is. Never mind.
There he is.
Can't talk about him anymore.
No, we can't talk about him. We have to talk to him now. But that's okay. We like talking to 7 Lemons, don't we?
Yeah,
you can talk about me as much as you want.
I hate talking to Robin because I hate hearing his amazing accent.
Right.
I hate that he,
right,
just is a great, person to speak with.
I know, it just makes you sick, doesn't it? Just makes you want to vomit like
it's
right
disgusting.
now. Isn't it though? It's ghastly. Yeah, it's awful. We have to tolerate your awesomeness. Yeah.
I don't know whether to cry or, just be sick.
Or both.
Or both. But
at the same time.
Yeah. You want to hear another terrible thing that 7 Lemons did? So during my drive for Toys for Tots, 7 Lemons went out of his way to figure out another way to send me a donation because in his country, Venmo doesn't work. So so we had to figure out another way to do it. Isn't that awful? It's just, what kind of person does that?
It's like him.
I know, right? Who does that?
In Irish, it didn't work.
Yeah, who does that?
I'm awkward. It's my thing.
So yeah, I know, just to be charitable and giving, who the fuck it does?
I just wanted to make sure that you're doing as many push-ups as possible.
Oh,
that's all I wanted.
That's what it is. See, yeah, there it is. Yeah, and
Oh yeah, that was fun. That was a lot of fun.
You guys are gonna torture me again because I haven't worked out at all since then, hardly. So it's gonna be even rougher next year.
That has to last you for at least a year.
Oh, jeez. Let's hope. Let's only hope. But I don't know, man. Yeah, the other Mike. When I was doing a fundraiser in October for cancer, the name of the organization is it's to fund getting cold caps for people so they don't lose their hair during chemo. And so I was doing a fundraiser for walking, and then somebody suggested, what was it, for every 10,000 likes I have to do 10 push-ups? I think that's what it was, something like that. And then everybody was just blasting that like button. I would literally just stand up and be like, okay, I'm done. Like, okay, got to do 10 more. I'm like, you guys are killing me. You're killing me. So, but it was for a good cause. So yeah, it was 10,000 per.
Other Mike, I can promise you, I was watching carefully, and
Yes.
Trust did not lift his arms on the lives for about 2 weeks after that challenge.
I was so sore. That sucked. But it was for a good cause. So So hopefully there'll be more people this year when we do it again. And but I got to start doing my push-ups. So I got to be ready for you all. So I got to start doing that. Okay, well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Seven, because now I have to start doing my push-ups. All right, there's still time, man. I got like 8 months. So I think I can do this. You'll do a push-up challenge for charity? Oh, awesome. Awesome. So let's do that. But anyway, everybody, see how amazing these mods are? These are our community mods, and they're amazing folks. So if you all could give them some love, some W's, some follows, some coins, you know, whatever you can do. And on the other side, I have to recognize the mods on the other side. Rainbow Ash, there's Rainbow Ash. There's another mod, a fantastic mod in Rainbow Ash. And Pseudo V Science was there earlier, but looks like he's not there. That's okay. But I've got some fantastic mods. So I always want to give them props and love because you guys are propping me up. I'm just saying. I need to be carried. As you could see from the audio issues I was having earlier, I got to be carried. All these immoral atheists, exactly, peg the patriarchy. We're just all evil, heathen apostates. Look at us. This is like the axis of evil right here. Right? Yeah, you can and see, especially Seven, you can just feel the evil just oozing out of Seven. Right?
It's more just mischief.
Okay.
I feel like it's probably the acidity of the lemons.
It's the acidity of the lemons. Yeah, exactly. The acidity of the lemons. So, okay, we're going to do on YouTube a delayed raid. Pink and Blue Shark. Okay, they're going to be on later. Hey, Chuck McNorris. I love that name. On the YouTube side, do you know when a Pink and Blue Shark is coming on? Maybe we can just do, I wonder if we can do like a raid to be named later. Is that a thing? Like, wouldn't that be awesome if we could like organize like a raid like from 2 hours from now? Like we just all plan to hit a raid. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm down with it. I might jump in there later and just give Pink and Blue, because I love Pink and Blue Shark. They're pretty amazing too. So I could do that. Oh wait, they're on now. How about that? They're on right now. And they're doing YouTube and TikTok. This is perfect because the last few times we've had to do like separate raids for each platform. So that's who we'll raid today, a Pink and Blue Shark. And you guys will really enjoy a Pink and Blue Shark. Fantastic content creator. So let's do that. So just type in your search a pink ampersand. That's key. The and symbol, Blue Shark. So a pink ampersand Blue Shark. So that's who we're going to raid. Fantastic idea. Love it, Chuck McNorris. And why is it, Chuck McNorris, when I see your name, I have a craving for mac and cheese and like like one of those old time, kung fu theater movies that I used to watch when I was a kid. Do you guys remember those? I used to watch those when I was a little kid. And it was kung fu theater with like the bad dubbing and all that stuff, but pretty awesome like kung fu and acrobatics. And then like now I want some mac and cheese too. So that's kind of a weird like combination. But Chuck McNorris, thank you for giving me that. So anyway, all right. Well, guys, fellows, folks, friends, you guys are amazing. I mean, a lot of you sat through some of you have seen like 2 days worth of troubleshooting. So this is wild. But you sat through a whole bunch of troubleshooting today. We did a restart. You guys showed up. Godless Engineer was here. So we salvaged today, despite all my technical misfortunes. So you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. So chat, give yourself like a big W because that was awesome. And love you all. Exactly. 7 lemons. Love you all. So I will see you guys in a Pink and Blue Sharks live. I'll see you guys all there. And other than that, one more day this week. We're gonna be on Friday. I'll be back on Friday, and which is tomorrow, and we'll do us up again. All right. So everybody, have a great rest of your Thursday, and I will see you tomorrow. All right. Take care, guys.
You too. We'll see you.